Hell, it's Basetradetv.
Hey, what's up, guys? Back in action. Whoa, it's been so long since I've seen y'all. How you doing? Y'all have a great break from story time to real time? All right, let's talk about the brackets. Let's talk about what's going on. Today it's the, I don't know, European Cup. Call it what you like. Either way, it's some pop-up StarCraft action. We got 200 bucks in prizing. We can raise up to 75 for free, thanks to Matcherino. And we got a little bit of a sponsored thing doing at the end of the stream today, too. So, should be some pretty good times. Okay. Gross, hacky answer. We have a lot of great players signed up for this. I mean, I'm looking at the chat channel right now. We've got Talden SC. We've got, of course, Goblin. He's here in the chat. We got Hearthstone, Mana, Nurchio, Showtime. Special's even showing up to play, which Special never shows up to play and things. That's actually really cool. So if he's really playing for real today, that'd be really awesome. But I do want to talk about some of the changes that are happening with this tournament opposed to the way we've done some things in the past. So for the first part, and for the most part, it is, as you guys know these tournaments to be, like pre-picked maps into like a loser's pick situation. However, we've added a veto now to each player's pocket that they can use. So for example, you'll play Cerulean Fall, player loses and say picks Automaton. Well, you could be like, no, veto, I don't want to play Automaton. So then you have to pick another map. It's new. We'll see how it works. I've got some player feedback saying it seems to be a good way to go about doing things. And we'll rock and roll as the day goes. Now, we have a round of 16, which is awesome. A lot of really good players. I'm just waiting for the admin to give us the go-ahead. I think the brackets are live. There we go. All right. Oh, guys, I hate you. I know a lot of you gonna want me to cast like Hearthstone. Okay, look. Oh shit, there's some really good first round matches. All right, you gotta type in chat which of these three you want to see: Mana versus Goblin, Hearthstone versus Marine Lord, or Denver versus Clem. Or Bry versus Braddock. Oh my god, there's so many good there's so many good matches here. Let me know what you guys want to see. I know which ones I want. I personally want Clem and Denver. I think Clem and Denver would be like the best one, but I see some hard words for Hearthstone Marine Lord. Who are both, I believe, also streaming their matches. Let me just check here. Hearthstone Online. Clem and Denver. Oh, now we're getting some Clem and Denvers in the Twitch chat. Ooh, guys, this is where I should have used the straw poll. That'll be the smart thing. All right. Oh, Bly and Braddock, there's another one I would have really liked to have seen. That is such an old school matchup. Alright. Okay, so I've got a hold of Hearthstone, and I've got a hold of Denver as our plan B. Hearthstone is, by the way, so whether we cast him or not, Hearthstone is streaming his matches today, so if you guys would like to see that. Oh, Monty, wow, I don't even... A little something. I don't deserve that, man. Thank you, Monty. Guys, fucking 200 bucks. We haven't even got the first game going yet. Holy shit. That blows today out of the water. Thank you, Monty. Dude, I also saw you getting hyped up on that Home Story Cup stream. Holy fuck, did they pull in a lot of money in like, what, 15 minutes? Regardless, thank you very much, my dude. I hope you're excited for some of the players today. In fact, Monty, I'm kind of in between two matches right now. I'll let you pick. Montyun, would you rather see Clem in Denver, or would you rather see Marine Lord in Hearthstone? I want to see both of them equally, and so does the chat. So I'll let you fucking $200. I'll let you pick which match we watch. Clem and Denver. Okay. Actually, this probably works out better anyways because the other guys are streaming as well. Oh, Marine Lord is streaming on O Gaming SC2, by the way. He's not streaming on like his own channel. So, okay, change of plans. Hearthstone and Lord can place streaming. I'll cast Denver versus Clem. Okay, so let's where is the O Gaming Twitch? Oh yeah, I see here. It's just literally on O Gaming. So real quick, guys, if you want to find out these streams, because we're not going to be casting this match, if you go to twitch.tv/O Gaming SC2, that's where Marine Lord's at. He's going to do. Let me mute that. He's going to be playing versus Hearthstone, and I believe Hearthstone's channel is just twitch.tv/Hearthstone. And he has just gone live. So go give him some love. He's at like 0 viewers. Everybody get the fuck in there! But I say this because, of course, again, I'm not going to be casting these matches. I'm going to be casting Clem versus Denver instead. By the way, for those who are unfamiliar with their players, it's a TVZ. Very talented young players. Very fun to watch, too. I think in the past, Denver's had a bit of an edge over Clem. But I'm very curious to see how they're doing now in this post-patch world. But there's so many good games for today, guys. No Stropple, me want Goblin versus Mono. Well, maybe you shouldn't have been such a troll in the chat when you first got here, dude. I didn't time you out because I'll give you a chance to redeem yourself. Maybe you'll be cool, but yeah, we're gonna be doing Denver versus Clem first. I guess I can just host up the maps while we're waiting. So give me a sec here. I've lost my own bracket page. It is on Parasite. I'll host. Now, again, for anyone who might just be joining us, I would like to, again, kind of remind you how this will work. It is a pre-picked map. It is a loser's pick, but players are equipped with 1 veto each on the loser's pick, in the case they don't like the map that gets picked. Basetradetv, your stupid magic trick got 25,000 views. Dude, I know it's the most viewed clip on the channel now. It's even higher than that marble moment. It's higher than any StarCraft gameplay we've ever had. Have you guys seen this, by the way? I guess, I mean, it's cool, right? Like, but it blows me away that that's the case. Let me pull this up here really quick. We can watch this together because I'm so proud of it. I've actually, you know, funny is, I've not gotten to see this yet because at Homestory Cup, I had such limited, like, there's no Wi-Fi or easy access stuff. I haven't actually I know what this looks like from my point of view. I haven't actually watched this yet. So let's now, for the first time, watch this clip together. Because this has fucking 25,000 views on it.
Give me one of your hands. One of your hands. It doesn't matter which.
Wait. I have to get into this game. Okay.
One hand. Doesn't matter which.
One hand?
Take your pick.
This is, I feel like this is what I say.
Look, lady,
Okay.
just trust me on this, okay? I'm going to do this trick where I'm going to take your...
Oh, also real quick, guys, because this was like a heavily debated thing on Reddit. She is not standing upright. She is kneeling on this stool that goes up to like maybe here. So she is not super tall. For those who don't know Annie, great person, but not an Amazon.
Your hand, and I'm going to move it, but without touching it, okay? So I'm going to have my hands...
That's what she said? Okay, keep going. Yep.
I'm going to have my hands like this.
Okay.
You're going to put your hand in the middle.
Okay.
And without touching it, I'm going to make you move your hand, okay? Are you ready?
This is mind control?
Just put your hand in the middle.
Okay.
I'm just seeing the Twitch chat too because I obviously couldn't see this while I was doing it. I just love the fuck cringe.
No, the other way around.
What?
She's standing on the
Oh my
Daniels.
fucking god.
Her reaction,
Alright, guys,
dude.
we're in the map.
I can't believe I fell for that. Are you kidding me?
Acid plant, we're hopping in a game too.
That was like some 200 IQ plays from Rifkin right now. Oh my god. I'm so embarrassed that I
Oh, the
fell
Twitch
for
chat's
that.
so good for that.
Chat's going nuts. I love
Why?
Oh my god.
Why?
That's so stupid.
Fucking ruined by Mario breasts. God damn it. At least it's not a penis. Yo, thank you very much. Oh my god, lol bah for the 40-month resub. Hopefully those alerts are less loud for you guys now. But yeah, it's just like a simple, like honestly, it's like a kid's trick. It's really nothing special, but it's so innocent that it gets a lot of people, so it's fun. My favorite one was definitely at TwitchCon. I did this to Soda Poppin when he was super drunk. And by the way, side note, I tried to, like, I've met Soda Poppin like 5 or 7 times at this point, but you know, he doesn't remember who I am, and I don't blame him. I get the same thing. Like, I'll forget people I don't really interact with. So anyways, I introduced myself to him, and he's kind of drunk, and I'm like, hey, my name's Graham. He's like, Crayon? And I had this moment of like, you just processed in your brain that you thought my name was Crayon, like that's a real acceptable name. But it is the internet, so maybe I'm got like an online name of Crayon. So I'm like, no, Graham. And he's like, Crayon, good to meet you, man. I hear you got a magic trick. So as I said, call me Rifkin. They couldn't hear me, so I just went with Crayon. I just rolled with it. I didn't care. Anyways, I do the same dumb trick to Soda Poppin', but he was so drunk and he had such a delayed reaction. It was so good. So I do the thing, and where people would immediately go like, fuck, he's immediately like, oh! Like, it was so great watching the gears churning as he's like figuring out why everyone's laughing. But anyways, not quite a home story cup story there, but yeah, that clip with Annie was funny. We had some really great moments over the weekend. Bly had some insane bandling bombs. I'm sure people must have clipped those. There's this one hit. It was I believe it was Bly versus Soul. I'm talking off of memory here, right? It was one single bandling killed like a dozen Marines because they were overstimmed. 2 stims, too much, too furious, too dead. It was so cool. We're just trying to get an update here on Clem, guys. A quick ETA. Everyone was focused on Cyril not using his banlings. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Since we are waiting a little bit, let me tell you guys my poker story. Because Clem is apparently 14 minutes in, so he should be done soon. Now, there's a lot of different versions of this story that are going to come out there. And what I love is every time I've heard another player tell this story, they know the details so intricately, like they know exactly what the cards were, what the suits were. I don't remember any of that. I don't remember that it was like a 4 spades or not, right? But anyways, this also happened with Day 9 at BlizzCon last year. I remember I got a super bullshit hand versus Day 9, and he spent the entire weekend telling everyone about it. But anyways, I guess it feels bad when you lose. So, play poker, and I'm not doing so hot. Like, I'm really not doing so hot. So I'm like deciding to have a bit of a goof. And I've been telling everybody all day, like, oh, I'm a super lucky guy. I got no clue how to play poker, which, by the way, is true. I don't know tactics. I don't know strategy. Also, just, here's the update, guys. See, I'm not just fucking around here. But I do know suits, and I know what beats what, and I can be a bit of a lucky fuck sometimes. The beauty was, not only did I happen to be lucky when I needed to be lucky, I was lucky many times in a row. Thank you, Too Early for Me, for the 41-month resub. But to explain really quick, it's Texas Hold'em, and if you guys don't know how this works, everyone gets 2 cards. You look at your cards, and there's 5 cards that are eventually dealt, and you're trying to make the best hand out of the combination of all the cards, right? Anyways, so I get my cards. I'm sitting next to Bly. I'm like, I'm not gonna look at my cards. And he's like, what? You're crazy. I'm like, I'm not gonna look at my cards because I'm gonna win this round. I'm a lucky guy. He doesn't believe me. So, you know, there's a lot of people down there. We're going around, we're playing. Preacher was there, obviously. And we do this hand, we play it to the end. There's a couple of raises, nothing big. But I win. And everyone's like, oh, what the fuck? You're so lucky. So the next round comes. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ride this luck out. I'm, again, not going to look at my cards. And as I continue to not look at my cards, I'm doing this fake bullshit of like pretending like I can sense what's under them. I'm like, guys, I'm pretty sure there's an ace in my hand. In fact, I'm positive I have an ace in my hand. So fast forward to the end. Again, I don't remember what happened other than the fact that A, I won, and B, I had an ace in my fucking hand, right? So everyone's freaking out at this point. No one can believe it. Twice in a row is crazy, right? Fast forward like 5 rounds of this. Like literally 5 hands. And I've won every single one of them without looking at my cards. And we're doing raising, we're doing whatever. It got to the point where Bly was so frustrated, he's trying to scare me out of playing, I think. So he's like, all right, fine. He puts a lot of money in. And this is like real money, guys, by the way. We're not playing for like, you know, 20 cents or anything. Like, I think the buy-in was $50. So he puts in a ton of money, like, just trying to raise me out and like scare me out. I'm like, I look at him, I'm pretending to think. Like, because I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm pretending to think I'm looking at him. I'm like, you know what, Bly? I'm feeling really good about my hands. I'm such a lucky fucking guy. I feel very lucky. I'm going to take this. And I match his, like, all in or whatever. Anyways, it comes down to it. And I don't remember what the hands were, but it was so fucking close, but I won, barely. And Blah had to, like, buy back into the game completely, like, he was out of chips, like, getting so mad that I was taking his money without looking at my cards. So the next round comes around, I'm like, I decide to look at my cards, and of course I fucking lose, right? So it's just kind of a gimmick that, like, I legitimately got terrifically lucky with. And I think I ended up getting close to 280 euro at one point, which would be a lot of money. But here's where my naivete with poker comes in. I did not realize that in like a pickup cash game, you can just cash out whenever you'd like. You know, like you give them your chips in exchange for money. I thought you had to play till the end, which is how it is for a lot of the poker tournaments I've done in the past. So I got kind of bored and I wanted to not spend Home Story Cup like all in the basement playing poker. Like I had my fun, I won my cash, but then I wanted to go upstairs and hang out with people. So I just started like all-inning over and over and over again to get rid of my chips so I could get up and leave. I wish I had known better because I didn't realize I could just pick up the 280. Remember, I bought in for 50 euro. I picked up 280 to leave. I could have at one point, but instead I just ended up losing most of it to like a combination of like rail and Bly because I didn't know that you could just get up and go. Anyways, this has been a terrifically great story time, but we're still waiting on players, specifically Clem here, who I really don't think this will disappoint. I am, of course, apologetic and thankful you guys are joining me here through the downtime, but I do believe you guys will enjoy this match. I got to see, not much Denver, but I got to see Clem during Home Story Cup, and what's really unfortunate is if you go over Clem's games, he was like one of the worst performing players in terms of like maps and groups, but I actually got to see some of the games, not the ones that I cast, because I didn't cast much Clem, but I got to see some of the games, and he actually played really well. I think in a lot of cases he was just outdone, you know? Like it's not a player who lost because he played badly, it's a player who lost because other people were playing better. Which was kind of a cool story for Home Story Cup in general. And it's such a just like a generic caster thing to say, but there were some bad games, honestly. But there were a lot of games where it was like 2-0, and I didn't feel like that was very indicative of the way the players competed in those games. Like, it was 2-0, but they were well fought, and very rarely did I feel at any point during Home Story Cup that we had a bad player playing in front of us. Often it was just like, dude, this guy's playing really well, but fucking the other guy's playing so much better, it's insane. Like, incredible, amazing. So Home Story Cup was really unique and cool for a lot of different reasons, and one of them was, of course, the players playing at just such a amazing level. Clem. Where are you at? All right, I guess what I could do to be responsible, we're waiting is tweeting. The $200 Europe. Oh, he just finished. Yay, we got Clem, guys. All right, Clem's coming up to the lobby now. Clem, let me tweet about this. Of course, we have a Matrina page too. Yeah, coupon code is squeeze. All right. Let's just making a tweet. You ready? All right, if they're ready, let's get into Parasite team. We've been waiting goddamn long enough. As soon as the players give me the go ahead, we're gonna start this game. Jedi says, really enjoyed watching a stream from Home Story Cup. Well, thank you, man. All right, let's get into Parasite. Well, first off, hello, the Olima League. Somehow, oh, geez, Louise. Somehow I don't have the game heart overlay on. Oh, because we swapped stuff at... I forgot because we swapped overlays at Home Story Cup. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the $200 European Cup here on Basetradetv TV. What did I press? Control-Shift-W, right. I didn't mean to turn that off. Spotting here at the bottom right, we got the green Zerg player. It's Denver, playing for Infinity Gaming. And, of course, his opponent here in the top left, the blue Terran, Clem. Now, unfortunately... Oh, who's playing? I know. Let's do this. Oh, God, it looks so bad. It's been so long. Lucky for us, though, Clem says, I feel you, Rifkin. I know you're having a shitty time with the overlay. By the way, not stream cheating. And I'm gonna go ahead and proxy rax this game for you. Now, I actually have a lot of comments about proxy raxes in general, but before I get into too much of that, I do want to again remind people that O Gaming SC2, the Twitch channel, has Marine Lord streaming his point of view of his tournament run in Hearthstone, and they are also playing against one another right now. So I would really recommend checking out their streams. But for Clem and Denver, I'm not super in love with proxy racks right now, but what I did love, and I really picked this up from Soul in the tournament, was some really cool ways to mind game of 3 racks versus just 2 racksing. Because as I learned from Kelazur casting with them, there's 2 very harsh, very different answers to each of those builds. However, this is something that's gotten unscouted from Denver for quite a bit, and oh, he's still, there we go, only just now sees the bunker. Yikes, that's pretty bad. If he was playing a little bit scared, he'd have the Overlord scouting very differently to look for this. We saw Raynor actually doing that a lot during Home Story Cup. But the drones are pulled, and the drone pull is an appropriate reaction as it's only a 2 racks, not a 3 racks. But the bunkers are getting built while this goes on, and SCV gets popped off. A lot of micro dance with these Marines though, and Clem's actually doing some really solid micro too. Picking off 2, 3 drones from this. And looks like one of the bunkers might even finish up. It's a little bit tough to say. It's a lot of drones that have been pulled though, so there's a lot of lost mining while this goes on. And of course, 4 drones dead. Yikes. Cool, I can't actually show you the units lost tab on account of the fact that this overlay is garbage. There's a bunker done. There's an SCV hiding inside of it. Blizzard, why can't SCVs repair from inside the bunker? Can we talk about that for a second? What? He hops out? He finishes the second bunker? I mean, the bunkers aren't going to stand, but that's so sick. It adds so much longevity to these 3 Marines, which hop inside the other bunker. Oh, yikes. Okay, well, the bunker's going to break, but he does a lot of damage with this. And if he grabs the queen, which he really wants to do, this would be super worth it. Nice. The bunker possibly could have been salvaged too, but he's not looking at that. He's doing a lot of dancing at the moment, so unfortunately, that's going to die. 19 drones left versus 19 SCVs, and there's a macro response to this. He's got the command center coming down on location. He's got a factory back at home, not across the field. He is building a reactor for this, so I'm really curious to see what Clem's follow-up will be. But damn, if this wasn't already a very exciting and intense, but ruined by the overlay, game number 1. As the Lings traverse the map, I guess we're going to see him. He should be able to get a cancel on this. Or maybe not a full-on cancel. At least he'll kill the SCV and stall it out is probably the better way to phrase that. Yes, the SCV, yeah, it's getting picked off pretty quickly. Whoop! Cinematic mode! Yeah, these Hellions will start up right away. He's gonna send another SCV. I know he's got some Marines coming, but they're pretty far away, from what I can tell. He's gonna actually get a cancel on this one. Ooh, nicely done here by Denver. Oh, the Marines are still so far away. Speed's about to kick in too. Without speed, these Marines can actually win this fight. With speed, maybe not gonna be the case. Either way, the barracks are floating home. He doesn't actually send one to go for a scout, which is actually really interesting. It's a common thing to do with one of the 2 racks, but those Marines, we've got to be careful. Even with Hellion backup, again, these Lings are about to have speed, and once they've got speed, it's gonna be a lot easier to jump on top of these units. And little does Clem know, because he didn't scout with the barracks, he doesn't know about this other cluster of Lings that are coming in now. So yes, you still got a couple of Marines. They're sitting here in the open waiting to kill an Overlord. They get surrounded. They don't trade out. These Hellions barely survive against those Lings, and another command center that's in a lot of trouble. Oh, I'm glad that's still so loud for me. Suhirai, thank you very much for the 4 months. Hell, is this the Ratata stream? Dude, you gotta talk to Wardy, guys. Hashtag scumbag Wardy. Actually, I think he's doing some replays. I did invite Wardy to come cast with me, but he's in a bit of a funk right now, the poor guy. Hopefully we can cheer him up at some point. But yeah, not a Rattata stream. Also noting, if you've been watching the production tab, Denver has been continuing to lay on the lings. And he's got a third base down, but it's not fully saturated. There's no drones en route. In fact, he went for a baling nest. Really investing into this, which I think might work in this one situation, mostly because Denver doesn't have much at home to defend. He tries to restart a Banshee, but there's a bit of a small supply block. The command center took so long to finish after all. So these 4 Hellions head across the map. They should get wind of what's happening. As he drops and scouts, I guess if he went through the 30, he would have seen a low drone count, but because he doesn't, he won't get that information. The attack in the natural. Okay, those are still super loud. Are those super loud for anyone else? Those are super loud for me. Thank you, Hello Zergling, for the 300 bits. Here comes that unload. The medevac hits the main base. The spine crawler is a little bit odd to see, but he's going to see 4 banelings. So he knows there's a baneling nest now. This is not something he was aware of before. The alerts are very quiet on stream. Okay, if the alerts are fine for you guys on stream, then again, I won't touch them, but oh my god, they are so loud on my side. The sub/resub one's actually a song I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was. But another streamer I really enjoy, Loserfruit, used to use this alert sound for a while, and I've always liked the energy it's got to it, so I had to do a lot of digging because I couldn't remember the name of the song at all. I can't hear anything anymore due to alerts. Guys aren't helping me here. These queens actually don't have much energy. Not to mention Transfuse was kind of a bit borked from what it was anyways. But no armory, so no Hellbats. This mounted force out of Clem might wish it was back on the other side of the field. No, 2 Marines will hold that doorway. So 3rd CC's en route, but I don't know. Denver's got a spine crawler coming up. I'm curious about the spore crawler too. That'll help shoo away the medevacs, I suppose. But Clem's attack comes in a little bit weak. The Banshee hits the left side. 3 drones go down. Nothing too substantial. He really wants to do a big drop at some point with those Hellions. Ling's also chilling on the outside, waiting for a moment like this, but he does raise the depot down in just the right moment. Ooh, a little scary. I'd be safe to lower the alert sounds a little bit. They are a bit loud. How about now? I'll look into it after this game. I can't do it right now. But Gillet, thank you very much for the bits. If it's loud, does it scare you when it pops? Yes, there is like a legit moment of like, what is that? Spins 002 wants to know if these are replays or live. If you're watching on November 28th, then 2018, then they're live. But because I don't know if I'll rebroadcast this or not, I don't want to say yes and then have the broadcast confused later, so do the math, guys. If you're smart enough to watch StarCraft 2, I have faith that you're smart enough to tell whether this is live or not. Ooh. Nice surround here by the Lings. Those Hellions should not have gone down. I guess the Banshees were busy running back, so he wasn't paying much attention. I gotta give credit to Clem, by the way. Nice recovery from where he was. You know, it was a pretty tough spot, and he's still not in a great one. Not quite on a 3rd base. Only 44 SCVs to work with. A couple of mules to help out a little, I suppose, but ooh. If he can get good shots like that and catch a lot of these Zerglings on the middle of the map off a creep, that's exactly what he wants. We also have some Widow Mines being added in by Clem now too. I actually quite enjoy this a bit. A lot of Widow Mines made their debuts at Home Story Cup, and I have some thoughts on that one, but we'll save it for now because he's not continuing to produce them. He's got about 3 in this army. Stim is done, but no combat shields. He's got 1-1 most of the way done. Oh my god, did he just double kill his own Banshees with a Widow Mine? Oh my goodness, and the 3rd CC's forced to lift while this goes on. Denver is playing well, but Clem just can't seem to catch a break to catch up, man. Yui says that they played and got wrecked. Aw, that's a shame, dude, but thank you for playing. I hope you had fun today. Anyways, let's address the Widow Mine a little bit here. Aside from its scumbag tendencies to friendly fire and kill your own units, some of the changes people really didn't understand, I think, that we kept having to re-explain during Home Story Cup were twofold. One, the Widow Mine doesn't get permanent cloak without the upgrade. So without drilling claws, after it fires its shot, it is totally detectable, right? It's the same Widow Mine in that regard as it has been. Now, when it fires its payload, if it has the upgrade, though, it will remain stealth. So that's kind of a cool change. But the other one that got really, I think, undervalued was its build time being slightly quicker. so you can actually pump them out at a much faster rate as opposed to before where, oh no. Oh, and the mules just dropped here too. Well, that's an easy target. Yo, God, that hurts. 10 SCVs, 2 fresh mules. A lot of hype coming in with these subs, guys. Thank you very much, Private Wings, for the 33 months. But that CC's gonna have to lift again. These medevacs boosting over to the right side don't unload. Clem is looking flustered, to be honest. This is he's a young French player, but he plays very fast. He plays very well. I've never seen him at such what feels like a loss of, like the equivalent of a loss of words. Widow Mine not helping out once again. The Zerglings will take care of those Widow Mines, though. You know, loads of the main, gets a little bit of healing. I mean, overall on the supply, it's just been chaos trying to keep up. Medevacs are getting really low. Now the Hydras are out. This gets really tough for these drops. These heckin' alerts are so loud. I know, guys! I can't change it right now, though. Requiring I gotta tab out and do a bunch of stuff, so I can totally fix it after this game's done. Some of the alerts are fine. Okay, that's the problem. They all sound loud to me. I'm just gonna turn them all down a bit. I'm gonna turn them all down a smidge. Anyways, this attack goes what looks like not bad, but the problem is he's also being hit on the other side of the field. He does drop once again towards the right base, grabs about 3 drones for his troubles, though. The Hydras start going down, which is pretty nice. The Banelings clean up, and while that fight actually went surprisingly well for Clem on the other side of the field, it is not going well for him at home. The CC's burning, the SCVs are dying. He's lost 17, 42 in total, and there's only 40 left over for mining. Yikes. That is a huge swell of Banelings. There's the GG's. Denver, ladies and gentlemen, takes game number 1, and I'm going to go fix the sounds and the overlay if I can. Okay, sorry that those are so loud, guys. But I would like to bring up something before I go do all that, and that's how the new system works. So it is loser's pick, right? And in this case, it's Clem's map pick. But let's say Clem picks a map that is really good for Terran, like abusively good for Terran. Well then, Denver actually has 1 veto in his pocket, and he can say veto on that map. So let's say, I'm not going to say that this is the map, but let's say one of the new maps, like Stasis. Everyone hates playing on Stasis right now. If Clem were to choose Stasis, Denver could be like, shut it down. And then Clem would have to pick a different map. Anyways, where's this? It's the subs that are so loud, and I think it was the bits that were fine. It's just the sub alert that's so loud. Let's turn that down from 17 to 10. 1, 2. All right, 1 sec. I'm just gonna test the sub alert really quick. That sounds a lot better on my end. What about you guys? Well, there's a good way to test it. Boggy Creek Monster, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Droid Trooper as well, priming it up. And, oh, the map has been hosted. What tournament, what competition is this? Just like the Basetradetv TV Cup, man. Oh, hang on, guys. It's gonna be Port Alexander for the new map. But, okay, I don't understand, right? You guys just did that, and it sounded fine, then it got really loud again. Why is it being inconsistent with its volume, is my question. I'm going to try turning it down to 5. Okay, so we're going from 10 to, we went from 17, we're going to 10, and now we're gonna go to 5. All right, and we'll try this out here in a sec. Let me get into the game first, though. That's kind of the priority. All right. Snow Crash 00. Thank you for 46 months. See, that sounds manageable. That sounds great. Incapacious says, "Good job, Homestory Cup. B-Stream was nice. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Thank you for stopping by." Yeah, Homestory Cup was The B stream was a lot of work. It's probably the most, honestly, it feels like the most work I've done in StarCraft 2 in a while. I had a lot of fun though. No regrets. Yeah, it was tough times. It was rough times. At any rate, while all of this has been going on, let me close that there. We are in the lobby for Port Alexander already. Unfortunately, the bad news, guys, is because of all the traveling and stuff I've been doing, I have not had the opportunity to do new map introductions yet. So those are not a thing. So while we are getting into game, if I could ask a quick favor. Wait, what happened? I'm the wrong race? Oh, Denver's the wrong race. All right. So instead of hopping in, it was casting was so fun. I do want to quickly get you guys to help me out. We got a match arena page, which is fully funded for $200. That came from Basetradetv. Don't worry about that, right? But we can raise some extra money today with a coupon code SQUEEZE. SQEEZE, or ZE. It's worth 50 cents. I know it's not a lot, guys, but we have 150 codes available to us. If we can raise this prize pool by 75 bucks, that would be awesome. So if you could help me out, type !matchery in the chat. I would really appreciate it. But ladies and gentlemen, let's hop into game number 2. We got a proper overlay. Things look good. It's spawning here on the top left side of the map. Fighting for his life in the first round of the tournament, we've got the blue Terran player Clem. And his opponent, who's looking very strong, very solid after that Game 1 win, it's, of course, Denver. However, as much as I would like to admire Denver, and more notably his win for that game, part of this goes to Clem. Like, he started with the 2 racks. It looked okay to begin with, but the execution really did not follow through. And unfortunately, that, combined with many other things, led to Clem's eventual death. But the thing you guys could probably note and take away from that game is, first off, Clem obviously knew what he wanted to do. His follow-through was tough, though, because Denver wouldn't give him any breathing room. You know, relentless ling attacks, some effective, some ineffective. And of course, adding in banelings, it just got tough for Clem to keep up with. But as you guys saw, he knew, like, he wanted Widow Mines. He wanted to get those Banshees out. He had a plan that would have probably worked if he just didn't do racks. But of course, there's that gamble. The 2 racks can sometimes be a free win. So I totally understand why he did what he did, even though it didn't work out for him the way he wanted it to. At any rate, while we've gotten stuck in a very long Series 1 due to the delayed start time, I would like to report a couple of victories in the bracket. So, I don't know how, but Showtime managed to beat Talden SC2. That's not... I never would have thought that would have happened. I mean, Talden SC2 is just like one of the best StarCraft 2 players. He's so good, he doesn't even sub to Basetradetv. I don't know why I'm praising him. Anyways, the winner of this goes on to fight against Showtime. So we actually have a really great bracket set up here. On the bottom side, though, like Special plays either Hearthstone or Marine Lord. Nurchio likely plays Mana. And Namshar or Penguin plays Bly. Like, we've got a lot of really solid round of 8 matches lined up and good to go. So if you haven't seen the bracket, you of course can always type !brackets in the chat and get a quick peek at what's coming up next. But we will be casting both of the semifinals and the grand finals today no matter what. So even though we are going to unfortunately miss a lot of really great games today, you guys will get to see the most of what I can show you. Now this is a little bit of a surprise. The Reaper went across the map and didn't see this, so unfortunately he's on the wrong side of the field to help defend against these Lings. And it's chaos. Luckily not a lot of deaths yet. He's actually doing a lot of pretty good micro. He gets that SCV hidden away from the natural base. The Marine was doing a lot of dancing in the main, so maybe... No, just like 2 SCVs, I think. Oh, he might even save this one. Oh, it's close. No, the Reaper stopped shooting it. Okay. 3 SCVs. This went from, like, really well handled to a bit shit. Either way, Denver certainly got his money's worth out of that attack. The beauty of it, of course, comes in from the fact that it stalls the command center for so long. And, you know, to stalling out a Terran command center, well, it's always a good thing. In this case, it's particularly bad because the CC... it really dictates your supply count this early on, plus the faster you get that orbital, the faster you get a mule, the faster your economy ramps up, etc., etc., etc. Whoops. Sorry, I didn't mean to type any of that. I was trying to hit Shift-I for this, just to kind of highlight, you know, it costs Denver a little bit to sacrifice drones to make Lings in the first place, but then kind of comes out ahead at the end for it. However, Clem's doing something a little risky that may or may not pay off for him. Denver, of course, has not scouted back to the main yet, but it is a third CC that's coming down very quickly. This is by almost every account and every standard greedy. There's no situation where a Terran player does this and really feels truly comfortable. And if Denver were to scout this, oh, Denver's definitely the type of guy to hit him with an all-in. So this Overlord is coming to the base, and he should see the third CC, and then we're going to have to decide whether Denver says, you know what, the CC's so far done that, like, I couldn't punish him in time, or he says, look, you just spent all this money on a CC, you're going to dump another 150 into an orbital, now's the perfect time to all-in. You'll have to keep an eye on the drone count to see what Denver's thoughts are for that one, guys. Stunt says, yay, some base trade TV before I fly. Where you flying to, dude? I just finished flying. I feel like I just finished flying for a lifetime. I saw that they announced TwitchCon 2019 is going to be in Berlin. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to that. Flying to Germany and back. The experience of being there was great. The actual flight, though, ugh, no thank you. Back to Japan. Dude, bring us some cool, sweet anime waifu stuff. Or at least some for me, okay? Ooh. Anyways, he did continue droning and started to go for upgrades. So keep in mind, for a player like Denver, while sometimes the easy answer is to go for an all-in, that's usually if you're already on the path to something like roaches. For a player who's going to be a lot more comfortable playing with Lings and Banelings, as actually Denver classically is, it makes sense that he would want to try and play the macro game for this. Keep in mind, he's up like 10 workers, and he could probably, I say this with like a little bit of an asterisk, take a 4th base comfortably. Right now, there's not really a lot to stop a building going down, but there's a lot to stop drones and Lings caught in the middle of the map like this. A great reposition on the Spore Crawler too, by the way, pushes off that Liberator. Unfortunately, the Lings do die. Now, this actually leaves a lot of defenseless drones with a natural. Quick splits, though, make it a little bit hard for the Hellions to get the kills that they want. Oh, I said natural, I'm at 3rd base. Pardon moi, guys. But the Lings come in. Oh, he stacks up so soon! So risky! 7 drones end up dying. Not bad. Clem helping balance those scales. Now his 3rd CC's done. That thing's going to float on over, and he should be looking fantastic out of this. Beforehand, he wasn't looking so great, but with a 4th base game down at Denver, which is clearly scouted by Clem, I would say both players are making their way to the mid-game very well. Good macro, good economy, great armies. Wait, I could do the control groups, right? Ah, yeah, you guys told me you liked this last time. All right, we got control groups up now when we select people. If you like them, let me know. I'll keep doing them. Apparently, Clem keeps a Liberator on, like, 0. Slim Pickens asks, what was so bad about the flight? Honestly, it's just the fact that I'm a very awkwardly proportioned person, right? Like, first off, yeah, I'm fat, right? Okay, I get it. That's not the problem, though. Wow, that's a loud shot. Has it always been that loud? Okay, sorry. Anyways, I am more torso tall than I am leg tall, which means I don't have any seats I can fit comfortably in, just due to the fact my elbows don't reach the armrests by like a good 3 inches sometimes. And even though I had, you know, a comfortable seat, if you can't sit comfortably, you're not gonna have a good time, no matter what the service is like. Decent Widowmine shot, by the way. Unloads inside the Liberator zone. A little risky to do, especially with the Banelings there. Dares, you can go ahead and let the other players start. I'm going to follow this through to the winner playing against Showtime. So, tell Nameshar and Bly I said good luck, have fun. Nameshar and Bly is a pretty good ZVZ. I wish we could cast that. Ooh, 6 health on that medevac, and she will... Ooh, if she's not careful where she flies, she won't get out alive. Okay, she gets out alive. That was a little scary, a little tricky there. We're back to Widowmine production. This was something to kind of highlight. So there was this great debate for a really long time. What's better, Widowmines or tanks? And this is back when Widowmines were like pre-nerfed and still pretty good. And eventually tanks ended up winning a lot out in that. Partially because of the eventual Widowmine nerf, but also just because the gamble of a Widowmine shot is just not worth it in some cases. There's the chance you can hurt your own units. The explosive damage is not, it's kind of easy to counter. If players are paying attention, they can split well. Whereas the tank, it's pretty much guaranteed to get good damage off, just at a much slower, less crazy pace. However, with the Widowmines being able to produce so much faster, like on average, you're probably going to see like 10 more Widowmines in the same game that you would not seen them in, you know, pre-patch type thing. So more Widowmines is more damage, so the gamble is not so scary when you're playing the numbers game. You've just got more numbers to play with. I'm making it sound way more complicated than it really is, but just end of the day, Widowmines are looking better now than tanks are. for a lot of these situations. You're not fat, Rifkin, you're just 3D. You know what? That's the problem right there. The extra dimension adds like a good 300 pounds. Will Wolf says it's the opposite for me. Legs of a tall person, torso of a short person. Ah, that sucks, man. Whoa, Talden, thank you very much for the $5. Absolutely unnecessary, but if you're feeling guilty for me calling you out, I'll take it. Thank you for the $5, man. A couple of coordinated Widowmine shots. End up grabbing 9 drones, by the way, guys. And this is without drilling claws. It's just straight Widowmines. So, well done out of Clem. Denver clearly not quite paying attention to respond to those situations perfectly. He also lost a lot of Zerglings to that too, I believe. So, the resources loss cost is just piling up. Anyways, Talden donated $5. Was there a message? No, there's some message with that. He says, not guilty, just mode of support. Dang, dude, thanks. Oh my goody gosh, we just got a really sick host from one of the best warriors in Europe. Am I right, fellow WoW players? I actually have some Muslim related stories for you guys, but hold the phone. It's a lot of Widowmines looking to get some shots off. Now, they don't get the greatest shots, but the Marines stay covered because they at least take out the Banelings. So pushing forward, Clem's got very little low upgraded Hydras to deal with. The 2-2 for the melee is certainly scary, but he's got to fall back. Those Widowmines not here to cover against the Banelings. Closer to friendly fire than real damage. And unfortunately, while Clem had all this momentum a second ago, he was also hit on the back line. 10 SCVs died. I'm going to guess down here at the 4th by the looks of things. But, oh my god, taking a moment to breathe. Quick thank you to the Muslim for that massive host. I hope you had a good stream. If you guys didn't get to see, I did get the pleasure of casting with the Muslim on a couple of occasions during Home Story Cup. He's about as lovely in person as you would expect, and about as bald as you would expect. But no, funny story is, planetary not done in time. SCVs are dying. Funny story though is, well, I've known the Muslim for years as a StarCraft player. I never really knew him as a WoW player at all. And turns out we both play Warriors. You guys have probably seen me stream this a couple of times. And I think we spent a good, well, I don't know how long. We spent a good amount of time just talking about our Warriors at Home Story Cup, which I just never get to do that. You never get to like talk to people about WoW in the StarCraft scene. So it was a very welcome change of pace, and it was really good getting to hang out with him. And cast with him too. Anyways, more Home Story Cup gushy stories later. Really big attack coming down here. He's finally finished up that 2-2. He was behind on upgrades for Clem, prior to this. He's got a lot of creep. He's got to dance around. But now he's finally back on a more even footing. As long as he doesn't eat a really bad Widowmine connection here, I think Clem should be okay to continue this push. He's also been really persistent with dropping Widowmines behind all of this. I mean, we've been watching these frontline battles, but keep in mind, it was like those 9 drone kills that came from a couple of really well-placed Widowmines. And before, he didn't have Trolling Claws, now he does. Of course, that's indicated by the little red laser beams that come out of their heads now. But whether they stay cloaked or not, oh gosh, they still have to get some good shots. Unfortunately, for Denver, those mediocre shots were still good enough by the looks of things. A couple of Widowmines also pound away here at the drone line. But army supplies remaining about the same numbers. No one's really going up, no one's really going down. It's kind of interesting to watch. Slowlock wants to know if I'm going to play Classic WoW. This is something we talked a little bit about Home Story Cup as well. I don't think so, because I don't have the nostalgia for WoW. I know a lot of people really enjoyed Nostalrius and the fact that they're bringing back Classic WoW. But unfortunately for me, my memories of Classic WoW were playing really bad classes, so I don't have that good memory. More on that later. This planetary is under attack. There's a lot of Banelings and Hydras, but they're not going to commit. Not with the reinforcements here. A big loss for Denver if he was to try and knock that down. Pulling back is definitely the right option. A couple of scans, couple of Widowmines. Kind of fun thing that no one's really highlighted because it's not a big deal. In a lot of games, it might be in this one, is the new fungal growth on Infestors. Denver's done a lot of really cool stuff with fungal growth in the past. If you guys remember, like, he's the guy who neural parasite. He's the guy who neural parasites medevacs and triggers Widowmines with them to blow up the Marines under. Like, there's just some crazy levels of play that I've never seen anyone else able to pull off. The Denver can with Infestors. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of this. But I should highlight the way fungal works. It's not crazy different, but with specifically the way Clem's been playing this game, I do feel like I should highlight it.
Game resumed.
And that's, you can't pick units up, they can't blink away, you can't teleport. If you're fungal growth, you're still slowed, but you can't be like escaped on. So a lot of what's been happening in this game, right, is the Widowmine shots, the Banelings roll in, Sudden goes for a big pickup on the medevacs and barely escapes. that might not be an option going forward, but that's still something soon to be seen and determined. There's a back attack set up with this too. He's got to be very careful about this. Widowmines do not reach the banelings, which is a huge problem. He was fighting on creep. Now he backs away. Marauders look to soak those shots. Oh wait, those aren't banelings. They're just burrowed zerglings. What? I'm very confused about this right now, but we'll get back to that later, I guess. Basetradetv, I love it. Holy Paladin in vanilla. Dude, I played Druid in vanilla. Okay, so enough said. There's that fungal growth I'm talking about. It's slow. It's enough for the Hydras to reach. That's 30 damage too, which isn't too shabby. The Widowmine's not looking too terrible. They are getting to rearm themselves on account of the fact there's no detection on the front lines, but as Lings continue to fall off, it is a lot easier to replace those for Denver than it is Marines for Clem. And this, yeah, oh, that was a kill, not a cancel. A point of contention here on the planetary would probably be the best thing Clem could hope for. It's a lot of extra splash damage, would help out a ton. But those Zerglings that were burrowed earlier have become since fully grown banelings. But the Widowmines, look at, there's the splits I talked about. Oh my god, both of these guys are on the ball for these attacks, for these engagements. Ah, I forgot about these other Widowmines on the other side of the field. They rearm themselves to get a couple more shots. 34 kills on this one Widowmine. Oh my god. This, you know what, guys? I told you this would be the match worth waiting for. Like, we had to wait a few extra minutes for it, but oh my god. I don't even know who to cheer for at this point. They're both playing really well. Like, Denver splits in the last second, realizing his Widowmine's fantastic. Clem's positioning and aggressiveness, fantastic. I mean, it is a little... That was like a bullshit shot that killed the Death Star that just like magically curves into the tube. Sorry, that looked really weird. The Widowmines are helping clear out a lot of damage, so the splash turned out to be fantastic. Denver, not with as many fungals to go with now. If you could just hold that army in place once more, the Hydras could really take out pretty much everything here. I'm a little surprised, though, that these Widowmines have continued to be such a problem. Maybe don't cheer for either since you're casting. No, dude, this is Basetradetv, dude. Are you kidding? B stands for bias. That was a really nice fungal, too. Grabs a lot of the Marauders. Of course, there's still many. Oh, man, he almost kills the Overseer with those Widowmines. He does! So there's no more detection to pick off the Widowmines. Not that there's all that many left. Ooh. Well, it's the link for the match arena. If you just type !match arena in chat, it should send you to the page. The code today is SQUEEZE. Trying to squeeze out a couple of cents here and there. Oh my goodness, there's so many Widowmines. The Hydras are splitting. It's actually a little ineffective to use the shots like that. That's a lot of overkill, which is not what you want to have happen, but without many banelings, it's kind of okay. This being a mostly Hydralisk army out of Denver, first off, it looks terrifying. The Widowmines are, for the record, like trading out better, but it's a lot harder to kill all these Hydras than it is to kill like 40 or 34 Zerglings with a single shot. Or I guess those were 2 shots earlier, so I'm kind of exaggerating a bit there. Whoa! We have Neo Steel Frame, boys! Well, I mean, it's building armor combined with Neo Steel Frame, but we have the upgrade. I like this a lot. I feel like building armor is a really valuable upgrade, but just you don't often have time to go for it. You're putting a lot of the emphasis on weapon upgrades and time for that, so of course, having that extra building armor will make it a lot harder for any kind of Lings or Hydras with low upgrades to take down buildings like a planetary fortress, for example. So these little run-bys become a lot less terrifying as the game goes on. Good riddance. Thank you for the 2-year resub. Get out of here. Good riddance. Thank you very much, man. I hope you still enjoy the show as much as you did 2 years ago, or more. We should say more. Shoot for the stars, Rifkin. You know, I didn't really kind of connect this, but Denver's been trailing on the economy for a little bit of time now. Not crazy, but as we can see, just as the ups and downs go, mules are looking a lot better for Clem. And as bases continue to start mining out, it's imperative that Denver gets these other bases set up. Whereas for Clem, you know, he's floating extra command centers over, and he doesn't have to spend as much money in that regard. I like that he's making more orbitals too. He's got a lot of planetaries on the field, but more orbitals is more scans, and I feel like his ability to see where the opponent is when it's all Hydras is so important, because the last thing you want to do is walk blindly into a bunch of Banelings and Hydras. Speaking of which, that's a lot of Banelings and that's a lot of Hydras. We're sitting on 29 Hydralists for the attack, a couple of Infestors for some fungals. Widowmine still got the first wave of Banelings, not too shabby. We do of course have the Marauders cutting that fungal growth, kind of sucks. Widowmine's getting wasted. Another attack at the top right while this goes on, so both players are just all over the map. And I don't know how StarCraft 2 players keep up with this. I had the pleasure of watching Raynor. I didn't record like a bunch of his gameplay, but I got to just sit down and watch Raynor play at Home Story Cup. He's fast, right? Like he's using the keyboard clickety-clackety, but he's also just all over the map. It's so crazy, but oh my god. Those fungal growths are going to kill a lot of dead SCVs. Well, not even SCVs. I was going to say medevacs, but you know what? This might lead to dead SCVs, as this is most of Clem's army getting wiped out now. The counterattack should follow through, and while there's a couple of planetaries like over here, this only orbitals over here. It was patience and a long time coming that finally got him that fungal growth he needed. And now the scales, I think, are tipping in Denver's favor by a lot. That's a lot of banelings he just finished making up. He's got at least another fungal on this too. Some queens in the front lines for some more stims. The Zerglings are... Oh, there's nothing to soak off the Zerglings. There's no tanks. There's no Widow Mines. Oh, no. Oh, no. Another big fungal. SCVs are on the run. We could watch the army fight, but I kind of want to see if all these SCVs die. It takes a bit of a detour, so maybe watch the army fight instead. More fungal growth landing. Clem is just running out of everything. He's got 82 army supply, but so much of that is in production. The planetary does have building armor, but it doesn't hold. The SCVs fall to retreat. The orbitals are flying. There's a couple of Widow Mines, but they're friendly firing. You sons of bitches! I can't believe it, but Clem is probably going to lose this game. That really bums me out. This was such a better game than map 1 was. This is what I wish we had a game 3-4. But ladies and gentlemen, Denver pushing in here. I mean, there's a wall of medevacs he's fighting against, but that's where the queens are trying to out-heal them with the transfuse. This is surprisingly holding. This is surprisingly holding well, but it's still not enough, right? Like, the orbitals are dying, SCVs are gone. He's lost 41 workers over this battle. No matter how badly this goes, money at the end of the day is going to favor our Zerg player over our Terran. In fact, quick little highlight is just how much that's jumped over the last minute. Oh my god, Dehumanizer has actually found a great use of... I never thought anyone could actually use our tier 2 emotes. Bravo, sir. Bravo. Yeah, I think unfortunately Clem's dead, guys, but I love me some Clem. I hope this won't be the last we see of him. It will be, however, the last we see of him today in this tournament. We got creep tumors coming down. God damn. I'm not sure if that's considered BM, but that's actually some great tactics because there's no scans left to get rid of them. Everything's floating. One planetary at the top right is all he really has, and Denver not quite breaking in has completely shut down Clem's money. He's collapsing on this. I mean, I really don't think this is a comeback, but when you look at the actual army supply right now, it is a lot closer than it should have any right to be. And I think a lot of this really, the power of those medevacs healing, right? Those Hydras just did not have the damage. With +1 weapons, they hit like wet noodles against fully upgraded Marines, which is incredible to me to consider. There shouldn't have even been a chance for a fight back in this situation. He'll grab 2 of the Infestors too? No, it's too hopeful to think this is a real comeback, right, guys? Like, this should just be a money game. This should just be easy, but he's got the pressure on. He's denying mining at these other bases. No, this still has to be a Denver game, right? I'm saying right. It was like not the rhetorical caster like question, but the actual like question. People are in chat saying it's definitely not over yet. I mean, I hesitate. Here's the thing. Right, when it comes to economy in StarCraft 2, you don't see the gains or the losses for several minutes. So it's only been about 2 minutes since Denver's taken a big income lead, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that in the army supply, but we're going to see a lot of that in the army supply if this continues up. I think, though, mules are pretty good, as chat's pointing out, but guys, there's not really any mules. I think there's 1 orbital. In fact, let's just double check that. He's done 1 orbital, 1 planetary. If this had like 5 orbitals behind this, and he's dropping 5 mules at a time, I'd be inclined to agree with you, Twitch chat. I just don't think that's going to happen. We've even got some burrowed banelings ready to do some style on Clem, but this army is overstimmed. There's no health in these medevacs to help recover at all. A couple Widow Mines fire off, but I mean, Clem is he's on borrowed time at this point. He's a dead man walking. He's just the only one who doesn't know it yet. Oh, Denver! The last dinosaur! He's our friend and a whole lot more! Alright, he has just got style points on top of the victory. 10 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. But while we wait for the agonizing loss, I do want to remind you, next up is going to be Showtime. So Denver versus Showtime in a PvZ. Denver didn't get to show much at Home Story Cup, unfortunately. I believe he was out in one of the group stages pretty quickly. But this is definitely a match I look forward to. Do Banelings friendly fire? No, Emmett, they do not. They are strictly really cool units. Because why would they? Why would a really explosive ball of corrosive acid possibly affect its nearby friendly units when it has such devastating effect on all other units in the game? Of course it doesn't friendly fire. 0:08 p.m. At this point, I think Clem's taking his hands off the keyboard. Yes. Clem was in a ladder game before this. Before the series started. I hope that wasn't like a bad loss that led into this. But yeah, this just may be a frustration. Regaltis, thank you for the 53 months. This match may be over, but my sub streak isn't. 53 years, goddamn. There's the GG, ladies and gentlemen. Denver takes the 2-0. And also, for those who don't know, Clem is also a French player. So I see some people saying American for some reason. Just like want to correct that. These are both very talented French StarCraft 2 players. Anyways, that delay took a bit out of us. Wasn't quite ready for how long, but that was still fun, good stuff. Here's a recap of where we're at in the brackets. We are going to go to commercial break in a moment, but where we're at right now... DeWitt, thank you for the 54. We got Showtime versus Denver. That's coming up next. Nameshare is playing against Bly. Special's playing against Marine Lord, who is, again, he's streaming his matches on O Gaming SC2 if you want to check that out. And then Nerchio and Mana. Ooh, that's the other money match I would have loved to have seen. But we're definitely going to follow Denver through. We're going to have a bit of story through this top bracket today. So we're going to go to commercial break. During the commercial break, if you guys could help me out by hitting up the Match Arena page using the code SQUEEZE, we might be able to get up to $75 extra for the tournament today. However, commercials, thanks for watching. See you soon. All right, we're back like 5 seconds too soon because the game's getting started. So thank you guys for watching this commercials. Let's hop into Blue Shift. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the StarCraft 2 $200 European tournament. We're kind of calling it BTSL Light 5, but really, it's just a pop-up tournament. We want some good StarCraft 2 here on a Wednesday morning / afternoon / evening, all depending where you're from. Brand new match, though, with awesome players in front of us to spawn here, to kick things off in the bottom left. He's gone for a probe scout. It's the ever ever-talented Showtime. Also in the top right, we got the Green Zerg. He just defeated Clem. Now he moves on to it's Denver. Now, I had kind of mentioned the Showtime during the lobby just to butter him up a little bit, but it was really great getting to watch him at Home Story Cup. I feel the Protoss specifically seemed to adjust to this patch very comfortably. However, we saw some pretty stock builds coming out of both Showtime and Hearthstone and others who were at the tournament. Showtime, for example, in many of his PvZ games was doing double Stargate into double Robo. A lot of Zerg at Home Story Cup in particular were voicing their concerns that they think Phoenix are too strong now with the Queen nerf. There's a lot of things to be said about a lot of things right now, but if we're just going to be very clear at the end of the day, it is Showtime versus Denver. And regardless of whatever patch or match or race or whatever we have in front of us, like, I think Showtime is objectively the better player. Don't get me wrong, Denver, you know I love you if you watch this VOD later. So I think it's going to be a really tough battle for Denver in this case. That being said, Showtime, it's not a free win either. So I guess what I'm saying in a really complicated and unnecessary way is this could go either way, but realistically, I believe it will lean in the favor of Showtime. Now, just as a potential heads up, the winner of this match in the semifinals will play either Namshar or Bly. And whether that's a ZVZ or a PVZ, I think we have a really awesome set of semifinals. In fact, whoa, Mana, a bit surprisingly here, or unsurprisingly, depending on who you're a fan of, 2-0'd Nurchio, and he actually awaits in the semifinals in the southern side of the bracket. Now, I bring all this up because while $200 was put up for prizing, it will pay out the top 4 players. So just a little bit of a highlight quick, $100 for first place, which is awesome, $50 for second, and $25 for third and fourth. So just making the top 10 or top 4 is how you make prize money in today's tournament. But I tell you what, guys, I'm having a really great time with this, and I hope you are too. If we fill up, this is my goal. If we use every code today for Match Reno, every single code, I'll see about putting together another one of these cups ASAP. However, I would also like to highlight and just remind everybody that I am working on Ting in the background of things. Ting of Season 5 got off to a really rough start, which is really disappointing. But after talking to a lot of players at Home Story Cup, getting some feedback and asking some players to play who had not been able to previously reach out to, like some of the Koreans, Ting Season 5 is looking way better. So a lot of good stuff happening over this next month. I know a lot of people are kind of morose. I saw a Reddit thread complaining that there's not enough tournaments, for example. I'll try and keep the good times coming and the good streams flowing. A lot of talk about Special in the chat. I really don't know where Special's at right now. People are saying he's in Mexico, and when I say where he's at, I don't mean like location-wise. I just mean like he's not played in a lot of our events. We got to see him at BlizzCon, which was cool too. He's one of the most feared foreigners. I hope he's adjusting well to the patch, because I would certainly love to see how he does in the semifinals. Super Elite says, is the stream going to last much longer? I couldn't really give you an answer for that, but to give you an idea, we have this best of 3, 2 more best of 3s, and a best of 5 before it's done. So I would say like 2 hours. We got about 2 hours to knock out still, give or take ish. I don't know, something like that. Atris159, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Glad to have that music playing in the background. Gives me a little bit of extra energy. Special played really strong in show matches on Winter's channel last night. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know Winter threw some show matches. But that's also good to hear, to see that Special's keeping up with things. Yeah, there are some players in StarCraft 2 that are just so good, but they don't play in a lot of stuff, whether it's just due to time zones or they're practicing for tournaments, and Special's one of those guys. So maybe here in the quote-unquote off-season of StarCraft 2, we'll get to see a little bit more of him. Because while I don't always love his personality, I always respect his gameplay. Guy is so talented at Terran. Now, I had mentioned earlier Double Stargate, and that is what Showtime has done here. So nothing really crazy to see here. Move along, Coppers. However, the question is whether it's going to be a double robo follow-up or not. That was something we saw a lot of during Home Story Cup. I think it brought a lot of success. I have a lot of comments on that too, but Phoenix just in general are so powerful. Even pre-patch, double Stargate builds were not just viable, but on the uprise. And one of the things that highlights how good they are now is with the Queens doing slightly less, well, we'll say different, but slightly less effectiveness with transfuses, it's a lot easier for the Phoenix to kill the Queens. So as they swoop in here, they'll definitely pick off several Queens. However, on the backside of this, as I talked about, Double Robo comes out as a follow-up for Showtime, and while I would love to start regaling you guys with tales of all the Colossus and Disruptors we saw at Home Story Cup, at the end of the day, the best plays were just a lot of Immortals. A lot of Immortals to pair up with those Phoenix. Now, Showtime, I don't believe lost anything, but he did kill an Overlord, which is funny. Some Banelings slipped through that wall, which is a little unfortunate, too. I don't think Showtime was quite ready for that, but Denver's special tactics are met with an Oracle and a backup sentry. So, well, at a glance, it kind of looks cool. Like, oh, he's going to get through the wall. It doesn't quite play out like that. Overlords are dying, too, which, oh, so many are exposed out here at the front. That's like 400 minerals you could grab right there. Goes for some drones instead. I really want to kill the Overlords, but now the Queen's recovering. He's got to start walking away. One of these Phoenix does go down. Little hesitant to pick up Queens, though. He's very adamant here in killing drones. Drones are an easier kill, so more guaranteed damage, but I feel like the Queens have, I don't know, more lasting damage to them. Either way, the Phoenixes are not being controlled super well, but they don't need to be. They've already killed 11 drones, a couple of Overlords, and Showtime is, of course, now pumping out those Immortals. Oh, I didn't realize the pylon had gone down for this front base, too, so that's a bit of a problem. The reason I really like Zerglings for... Well, it didn't happen in this game, but the reason I really like Zerglings when you see double Phoenix is there's just too many to pick up. So you play your cards right, you can get a lot of damage done. And that's what Denver was going for. That's that Bane bust you saw, like so close to actually getting a lot of damage done if those Banelings had actually gotten inside. But the force field reactions out of Showtime were also noteworthy and good. 11 drones have died, 6 Overlords, a considerable amount for very little that he's traded out for it. Not to mention there's still more behind this. I love the Denver emotes in the chat, by the way, guys. 4112 Sports, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub and the music. Interesting. Again, Showtime's doing something here that's got me a little intrigued. Like, it's not that, oh my god, it'd be bad that he doesn't kill the Queens or the Overlords or these otherwise quote-unquote free units. But what we are seeing pretty consistently here is him choosing to go for things like drones over things like, for example, those Hydras that were at the third base or otherwise. Ooh, things get really hot up here in the main. This Phoenix got very, very low. He backs away from this, and that is the right call. Just continuing to keep Denver chasing those Phoenix means Denver's not running across the map and doing harassment. He's not getting away with a lot of scouting. His map vision is actually surprisingly good, all things considered. Chill1 Jedi, thank you very much for the 11 months, dude. I think that this is still going to go okay for Denver. In fact, if he can catch this army away from a wall where it's not covered by a shield battery or just Sim City, I think Denver could actually crush this army. But we do have storms on deck, and once storms come into play, that'll change the equation up quite a bit. But this base up here, for example, has like 4 shield batteries that are just finishing up. Taking that fight would just go poorly. Can't run away off a creep against this. Not without the muscular augments, but also just because Phoenix are doing what they're doing right now. Chasing, lifting, grabbing, killing. Pump it harder, faster, twist it, pop it, pull it. These Immortals are already going down quick. The Phoenixes have got a little bit of juice left in them. Storm's still only halfway done. Oh my god, the fight out of Denver's looking a lot better than I thought it would. Showtime's losing out a lot of units, but things like Warpins and a couple stasis traps are actually going to be all he needs to really hold on at the end of the day. Still, though, I think as far as trading goes, this goes well for Denver, because remember, he was trailing hard. Like, he really was getting the bad end of every single attack, every single trade, all those Phoenixes grabbing free units, so while he doesn't accomplish much with the attack, he does take out a lot of the bigger army units. 3 Immortals go down, 6 Phoenix, a Templar. I mean, I'm not saying Denver's won the game with the attack, he's far from it, but that was a really good trade for him. Of course, it got Showtime off of his back long enough that he could put down a new hatchery, too, which is impressive. Creep continues to spread. You know, when I had seen the changes to the creep tumors and the rate at which creeps spread, I thought it would be a lot harsher than it has chosen, or I guess it actually ended up being. Part of this is a lot of Zerg players found out that if you use 2 tumors at a time instead of 1, it's basically not even a change. But even in that regard, like 1 tumor at a time is still slightly slower creep spread, yet there's still a pretty good amount of creep on the map. The attack at the bottom right would be met with storms this time. Denver has to be very cautious in the way he controls his units for this. It's tough. If you spend too little and you split too much, you end up just dying to things like the Zealots and the Immortals. If you go in hard enough to kill the Zealots and the Immortals, you just get stormed, pushed back. If you guys may not have caught that just now, Denver tried to run 3 Banelings down from the top side to hit the Templar in the back lines. That was really clever. Oh boy. Of course, the Hydras are still very scared of the storms, but also the Zealots. That's why he keeps backing up. If he could just get in here on top of the Immortals, this Stutter Step could be a win move, but while a lot of the Immortals go down, it looks like they are going to ultimately hold the line once more. Morlings are flooding across the map, +2 weapons from both sides. These Hydras are still fighting pretty naked. And now we got Archons in play. Denver's got to pull back from this. There's no way he takes this with Zerglings. If these were more Hydras, maybe, and that's what he's thinking. He's got more in the way. Basetradetv, pretty much everyone agreed at Home Story Cup that the creep nerf did nothing. I wouldn't say it did nothing, but it has in the I think that creep nerf actually it affects more of the lower skill players in the game than the higher skill players, right? A lot of the pros who are on the ball with creep spread are still going to be on the ball with creep spread, whereas lower skill players might see a difference in that. But I say lower skilled, I'm really talking like silver gold level, not like masters players or anything like that. Dad Rock Radio says, do you ever cast bronze games? Yes, occasionally, actually. We do it for Patreon and some other off-suit or off-color, I don't know what you would call it, non-regular events. Not often, though. I'm not a big fan of the bronze games. They just make me angry. I love these guys so much, but they make me angry. Riff, you don't have to call me out like that. No, the lower league games can be fun to play sometimes, honestly, or to cast sometimes, honestly. We had a guy who went like mass probes in the game, for example. More on that another time, I suppose. The Hydras continue to kind of stutter forward. Not a lot of damage. Again, this is more... It falls under the definition of like trading more than like a real win or loss for a lot of these fights. You know, Showtime's admittedly not lost a lot of his bigger units since that first really great engagement. But at the same time, ooh, this is nice. At the same time, though, Denver keeps up the pressure, and he's controlling the map. Like, creep spread is up on the third base already, you know? Like, it's got watchtower control. There's no warp prism on the backside, because there can't afford to be. Everything has to be spent here on the front lines. Storms come down once again. Denver walks out of it. We do finally actually have a warp prism that is trying to get around the map, by the way. Queen's starting to die, but honestly, these ladies are just taking up supply at this point. Maybe a transfuse or two, a couple of... storms. Actually, a lot of storms almost good to go, but not yet on these Templar. Like 10 seconds? 10 seconds or so, and he's going to have like 6 storms? Oh my god, but the Banelings actually pull this off. He's trying to come with the backside. He wants to catch the Templar, but they've been split up. Now they're on the front lines. Turned into Archons. You know what? He removes the storms. That's great, but eats, oh, 1 or 2 really bad ones. The Immortals clean up. GG. No GG. Woo. Showtime takes game number 1. All right, guys. Not too bad. Gillen, by the way, thank you for throwing a couple bucks into that Matcherino prize pool. But guys, again, I'm not really trying to overdo this because this isn't really like an official sponsored thing, but it's like, I'm calling it pseudo-sponsored because they gave us some money to add to the prize pool, which is always cool. So if you guys want to help us out on Matcherino, real quick, if you type !Matcherino in the chat, let me walk you through this while we're waiting, right? If you come over here, in the top right, oh, let's cut off for some reason. But in the top right, if you hit sign in, you know, you pick your account. I use Twitch, it's easier. Sign in with your Twitch account. Come down here under the coupon code section, just type squeeze. And it'll add 50 cents to the prize pool. That's it. You don't got to do anything else. You don't got to give them your PayPal, register a credit card, nothing. Let's just use the coupon code. Help us claim the money on Matcherino's, from Matcherino on their behalf. And we can get up to $75 extra for today's tournament, which would be really cool. Oh no, what? If as Dylan says, I'm still sad you ignored my sub when you told us to sub during the break. Feels bad, man. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't see that, dude. Infest Dylan. Hang on. Infest. Wait, when did this happen? Oh, there we go. 7 months! Thanks, production. That was 4 days ago. I got you, my man. Alright. So as we get this map picked up, it is going to be Denver's map pick. Showtime can possibly veto the map if he doesn't like the map picked, but he's only got one of those. Just 50 cents for a code? How come? What do you mean just 50 cents, dude? It's free money. All you guys got to... You don't even have to watch an ad or anything for it. You just type in the code SQUEEZE. Just 50 cents. It adds up to $75, dude, which is... I mean... Have you ever gone to a friend and been like, hey, dude, can you give me $5? They're like, for what? You could be like, oh, for... money just cuz, and they're gonna say fucking no every time. The fact that Maturino gave us $75, granted, it's split between like 50 cents at a time, but still, $75 is great. All right. Oh, the map is Automaton. I actually really like this map. Please, please, pretty please, don't veto this. Ready. Oh, Showtime's not in the lobby. What was the code? The code is squeeze. Actually, I love this too, because I when I messaged the guy from Maturino today, I'm like, can I squeeze a couple of codes out of you for today? I know it's last second. And he's like, sure, and he made the code squeeze. Oh, we might have our first use of a veto, guys. Hang on. Let's go to the in-game screen. So, Showtime chose not to join the lobby, and then he asked, I can veto a map if I don't like it, right? And that's the new map thing we're testing today. So it's loser's pick. Denver chose Automaton, but if Showtime's like, fuck it. Oh, he does. He says I veto it. Ooh, girl. All right, that means Denver is now going to have to pick a different map. He's not able to host the game on Automaton. Yeah, this is the, That's how it works, Denver. Okay, so Denver is a little sad about the veto pick here, but just so you guys are aware, that's the change. We've had a lot of the same formats over time, and a lot of players have disliked that we have no vetoes whatsoever, and some have completely abstained from tournaments. But the new thing we're testing after like a lot of feedback and a lot of talking with players at Home Story Cup, I mean, this is a change that's been in the works for about 2 months, and I think getting the direct feedback at Home Story Cup was a great way to solidify how I wanted to test it. So today is essentially, it's a great tournament, but it's also a bit of a test, right? And that's what we've been testing so far. Anyways, the new rehost is going to be on Stasis for map 2. And also, Denver wants us to know... sorry, this was actually, just so you guys can see, he thought he meant to... he thought he typed GG before losing, so he's not being like a sour puss sore sport. Like, he lost, he meant to type GG, he just left too soon. It happens. Denver's a pretty good kid. I like him. But okay, let's hop into Stasis. The map that looks like it's trying to suck its own dick. What are you talking about, Rifkin? Oh, I can't wait to explain it to you all. But before I do, let's hop into game. Let's get these intros done. It's spawning here in the top left side of the map. He's the green Zerg player from Infinity Gaming. It's Denver. In the top right. You just ruined this map for me, says Peter Cat. Spawning here at the top right, we got the red Protoss Showtime. Lamentes, thank you very much for that resub. Yeah, now people are saying they see it. Look, the thing is, look at his face too, right? Just the way the rocks work, it just looks like he's having such like a cheeky moment of like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. But for those who can't quite see it, the way it kind of looks to me at least is like up here in the top and left, these are like his feet. Like he's hoisting his feet up while he lies down, right? And these are his legs. And then this little base here, this is his hand holding his leg up, and like, and that's his butthole base. And okay, look, it's a whole thing. But I'm surprised the map looks the way it does. All silliness aside for it, however, let me just quickly highlight that this map is a lot smaller than it looks. On the top side, you've got these air blockers that kind of take out about 1/5 of the rim of the map. You can't actually fly past these at all. So while it looks like initially there's a lot of airspace to work with, that's not the case for this map. I've seen a lot of really harsh reactions. There's... Whoops. Looks like Marine Lord and Mana are going to be good to go here soon. Dare, I'm gonna get our admin Dares to hold that for us, of course, because we're gonna cast both of the semifinals matches. But Dares, I know Marine Lord is streaming, and I don't want to get him totally cucked. So if you want to tell Marine Lord that he's free to go play ladder while he waits, like that's cool too. We'll just get in contact with him when it's his turn. Anyway, so I'll have to do some Freudian therapy later, or Rorschach test or something. Unfortunately, I've ruined this map for so many other people in the chat now. I have no regrets, no apologies. I really want to know how this map got past the censors. That's all I can say. It looks like the Starbucks girl, that really lewd version. Okay, anyways, it's nice attempt to break the wall. Unfortunately for Denver, it will fall completely flat. Doesn't even kill the Zealot. Nice build time on that pylon, very clutch at the last moment. Now the Adept goes across the map. There was a bug where you could attack these rocks from the low ground. I don't know if that's been fixed or if it'll even matter, but just a small side note that was an issue during the pre-live version of the map. Mezix, thank you very much for the 23-month resub. Glad to have you back. I'm just saying, guys, there's a lot of really great StarCraft 2 going on, but you're pretty hung up on the way the map looks. Like, I understand that a lot of you may not have seen it before. But I mean, it is what it is, right? We just got a cast on it. I like his nice purple boot, by the way. He's got the top. I do like the other maps, though. I actually, a lot of feedback I got at Home Story Cup 2 from the players, asked them directly, because I asked a lot of them on stream when they came to visit the B stream, but even from the ones that weren't on stream, everyone pretty unanimously agreed Stasis was one of the worst new maps, and that all the maps in general felt really just clunky. Now, I take this with a grain of salt because every brand new season brings new maps, and players always complain about them until they've played them for about a month, and they say, you know what, it's actually not so bad. But it's kind of, I gotta agree, I don't like Stasis either for its design, for a lot of different reasons, not just the aesthetics. But I am curious on why everyone hates the other two so much. I think Port Alexander and, can't remember, Automaton, I actually really like the design of those maps, both down to the tile set and the aesthetics to the actual design of the map. I'm a big fan of some of the new maps. So I'm really curious if people will come around after a couple of months of playing on them. But, I mean, still, with Home Story Cup and barely being last week combined now, I mean, this map pool has only really been available for barely a week. A lot of these guys are still getting used to a lot of the new maps. I don't think so. Nerf Herder SC2 says this is the this is the worst map pool of the last 3 years. Clearly you weren't around for the Dream Pool that lasted for way too long last year at the end of the year. That was in my opinion the worst decision ever made. More on that later. Big Bane bus coming in. He's going to try and put gateways down. Nice way to seal the wall. It's still, I'm not sure how this will work out. I think the Ling is funny. He's attacking these gateways. He should break this gateway. Or the Cyber Core even. Just like, he's got more surface area on these other buildings to work with. It's not enough to depower the road, but that would have been nice. The Oracle, the Sentries. Showtime's hold here has been magnificent. Denver has not let up with these really heavy attacks. And Showtime's response has been exactly what it needs to be every single time. Sentries are whittling away at the Zerglings. He's going to try and get surface area on both the Gateway and the Cyber Core, but the Oracle's done too much. 15 Lings dead from her alone, not to mention the kills on those, and that's going to be it. Taps out, GG. Showtime takes the series 2-0, and he's going to move on to the semifinals. However, while Showtime is ready to play against Bly, we are going to do Mana versus Marine Lord first, as those guys have been waiting longer. Okay, so we're gonna go get these sorted out. I know that series was a little bit quicker than expected, but we're gonna go to a commercial break now. So I would like to thank you guys kindly for watching and joining us. As I said, we are gonna be casting Marine Lord versus Mana coming up next. And Marine Lord is streaming his point of view from the O Gaming StarCraft channel. So again, I know usually O Gaming is for casting. In this case, he's playing on it. So be sure to go check that out over on O Gaming SC2 if you want to watch his first person point of view. But we're gonna go to commercials. Hopefully while we're in those commercial breaks, you guys could possibly be willing to head over to the Match Arena page, help us use up those coupon codes. We've almost used them up. We're at $266 now, which is awesome. So the coupon code is SQUEEZE. You just type !Match Arena into the chat. We're gonna get this lobby going, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. All right, we're back because we got no load screen, but you can hear those beeps because the game is starting. If you guys are just tuning in, it's Mana versus Marine Lord. It's the semifinals. It's still best of 3 territory, but we're also in the prize money. So at this point, players are officially earning cash. Everybody gets at least, bare minimum, $25 from this point going onwards. But of course, first place prize in today's tournament's worth a really awesome $100. I have a deal I would like to make with you guys, if it's cool, but let me do these introductions first. Spawning here on the top right side of the map, it is of course Team Liquid's Blue Protoss, Mana, who I somehow managed to not see nor cast at all during Home Story Cup. Top left, we have the red Terran player, Marine Lord, rocking that OG TV, and of course, again, he's streaming his point of view over on the O Gaming StarCraft 2 channel if you guys would like to check that out. Now, Marine Lord's someone who adjusted to the patch really well. He started doing some battlecruiser builds and some shenanigans. I'm a big fan of it. But what he's done this game is kind of cute, and I believe that in this meta, where even still after the patch, everybody is doing proxies. Like TVP, if you're not doing a proxy, you're a crazy person. Marine Lord is faking a proxy. As you can see, Mana is checking for it, right? He wants to see it because everybody's doing it. It's a good move out of Mana's part. And the funny thing is, when the probe finally comes across the field to scout, it's going to see this base and think, oh damn, he actually did proxy because there's nothing at home. When realistically, Marine Lord's just simply building outside of his base and will likely fly back up to the main in a few moments. He really needs Mana to scout him before he does that, though. Now, hopefully Mana doesn't see the barracks over there. We'll see if he falls for the trick or not. Because the thing is, with the new maps, you don't know where all the proxy locations are. From Mana's point of view, it looks like he grabbed all the close spots, so where would the proxy be is the big question mark. And this really sick level of mind games, I love it. I don't think, even if it goes to the ledge, I don't know if that's enough vision to see the barracks. So he gets trapped in the main base, he throws a factory down over here. All things for Mana right now looks like he should be preparing for a Reaper of some variety that would be hitting, like, now. But I don't think he fell for it, funny enough. And I don't know if it's just simply the scout on the factory or what it was. Maybe he's just confident in where he's scouted. But he doesn't start anything out of that gateway. He's very content to just wait. And a lot of the times what ends up happening is you grab a Zealot. It's not going to do much, but it'll soak shots from the Reaper so that the probes don't get hit. That's not what's happening here in this game. He's calling the bluff, so to speak. He is going to be a stalker first, and the gateway should take care of this, no problem. The flickering is real. Is there flickering going on the screen? Huh. Alright guys, anyways, I want to quickly talk about a deal I'd like to make with you all. So I'm going to try and attempt a sponsored stream after the StarCraft stream is done today. And many of you will not be inclined to watch it because they'll be playing a game that many of you might not be interested in. And that's fine. But the way the Twitch bounty system works that I'm learning more and more is that the payment for it is proportional to your viewership. So if you have less than the expected viewers that they'd like for you, they'll still pay you, but at a slower rate. So I'm going to be doing specifically a sponsored stream, and I will tell you this much, if we get enough money through the sponsored stream that I could throw another $200 cup tomorrow, I will. So, to be clear, I'm doing this sponsored stream because, A, I kind of want to check out the game. It's going to be for Black Desert Online. But secondly, it's possibly paying enough that we could host another tournament tomorrow with the money we make from it. So, what I would like to ask you to consider is after the stream is done, even if you're done watching, you don't care about anything else, maybe leave this open in another tab. Mute it if you need to. But let's see if we can get that money together, because I am enjoying the game so much today, guys. I would love to throw another one of these and have everybody come out and play another, because this has been... game 2 of Clem in Denver. It makes me so happy for the new patch to be where it is. By the way, Robus12, thank you for the 8-month resub. Says, well, we made it another month without either of us ending up dead or in jail. I call that a win. Me too. High five. As long as you pretend to cast a StarCraft 2 tournament while you play, also you talk dirty, I'll watch. Anyways, that'll be going down after the finals is done for today. So if you guys want to Try and make another tournament happen tomorrow. I mean, you guys should know this at this point. Like, I'm a man of my word. If I say something's gonna happen, I'm gonna try my best to make it happen. And if we could host another tournament tomorrow for $200, I would love to host another tournament tomorrow for $200. So just consider it. Keep it in the back of your mind. Whatever. Steyer Blut, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Also getting in on that hype. Now, we got several stalkers. Ooh. But unfortunately for these stalkers, there's a siege tank. And that's kind of what I was gonna mention, but then things started blowing up very quickly. Really solid defense set up here out of Marine Lord so far. He's going to recall, by the way. I love this. Good use of the new strategic recall. For those who, I guess, haven't been really keeping up to date with what's going on, the new recall has a much shorter cooldown at like 85 seconds. But more notably, it can only grab a very small amount of units. So you can't do like a crazy huge recall like you could before. But this was actually pretty perfect. Also, I'd like to note a cool move Mana had just made there. I'm not sure if you guys caught this. He had picked up several of the probes that were getting shot by the Banshee. As, of course, you can dodge the shot entirely by doing that. That was really well played. He lost like 6-something probes. It could have been much worse. Oh, now the push goes. Yo, hello, Zergling. Thank you for the 301 bits. I'm going to have to bring back the Wardium sound effect. I know you were hoping for it. But this attack coming from Mana actually looks pretty interesting. The Warp Prism is going to do the best thing here in terms of breaking the lock-on from the Cyclone, but realistically, he needs to find a way to break those tanks. But, oh, hold the phones. Well, this goes on. Big Adept attack on the other side of the field. Now, I say big, but 3 is plenty for this situation. The Immortal's getting blasted away by the tanks, though. Mana's focus was perhaps in the wrong place. His heart in the wrong space. This attack goes really badly for him, and he does not even come close to breaking this. On the other side of the field, too, these SCVs cannot get back up to the main base. If they go up to the main base, they'll allow the Adepts in, they'll transfer, it'll be worse. Mana, of course, is very preoccupied with paying attention over here. If he wasn't, he would be slaughtering the rest of these SCVs, as we can kind of see. So this attack still getting 7 workers worth of damage is pretty damn good. The problem is the benefits from this will take some time to pay off, as he's still under attack at the front, and there doesn't seem to be an easy way to break this. Maybe a couple of Immortals, and it's a different case altogether, but the bunkers just really add some nice longevity, and especially some Sim City to this already skinny hallway. I like this position from Marine Lord quite a bit, actually, but it is, at the moment, not threatening anything super important. Oh, that's a Disruptor. I didn't even see him make one of those. The new Disruptor, of course, incredibly powerful, incredibly terrifying, but it doesn't detonate right away, so sometimes it is a little harder to get that shot off, as you guys just witnessed. But if it does get the shot off, it's going to bring those tanks down to, like, one-shot range pretty quickly. It'll also just abolish the Marines. The Banshees have been doing surprisingly well, too, keeping Mana on his toes. These poor Stalkers are still in the wrong position. Strategic Recall is available. He could have possibly saved those. Perhaps not thinking about it right now. Unfortunately, going to lose out just a bit. Nice shot on the tanks. Double shot. Ooh, 30 health apiece. Now he comes in here with the Immortal. Tries to one-shot, two-shot. Picks up in the Warp Prism. Oh my god, she's at 18 health. That was so dangerous. But also really well done by Mana. Breaking the tanks means he can actually move forward. Of course, the Stalkers, and there's another tank, so I mean, that interaction is still there, but at the end of the day, that Disruptor was very effective. And of course, that Disruptor could be unloaded and used again at any given moment here. Maybe hit the bunker, kill the Marines. The bunker is, of course, going to burn down without repairs. Banshee's out of juice, and oh, Mana's actually getting across the map with it instead. Ooh, I like this. There's no anti-air presently, so the Warp Prism will stay here for a while. Nice shot on the SCVs. Nothing too game-ending, but great damage on top of the already dead SCVs, bringing it up to 16 dead, bringing it down to 40 SCVs and a couple of mules. Excuse me. Income graph has actually been favoring Mana quite a bit. A lot of these attacks have been taking their toll. While Marine Lord had set up the Sit Contain, all he's really done is stop Mana from getting a third. If that was a game of economics and Marine Lord was excelling with his third, this would be a different case, but as we can see, his worker count is kind of Those SCVs might have had families. Maybe. Or probably not, because everyone is a space hick. And I don't think the sense of family is that strong for the Terran Dominion. I mean, look how many people turned on Jim. I'm just saying. On the right side of the map, it finally breaks. It took him a long time to get more than one Immortal out, but ooh, that Guardian Shield was nice. That killed the Marine damage, even with the +1 weapons upgrade. Mana breaking out of this. is important because it'll lead towards him finally, hopefully, getting a third base. I'm not sure if he'll decide to stick to 2 base all in, but he's got Colossus following this up. Combined with the Disruptor, that's a lot of AoE damage. Master Tom, for 23 months, thank you very much. Love to see you and Zombie Grub at Homestory Cup last weekend. Thanks for being awesome. Yeah, you know what's funny? I almost didn't see Zombie Grub at all. I saw her at the party. We talked for a little bit. It was nice, but I was stuck in the B stream so much, and I think she got a little bit of couch action on the front main stream. I don't know. I didn't get to run into Zombie Grub much at all, but glad you had a good time, man. I didn't see Wardy that much either, for that matter. Wardy was kind of occupied with his own stuff, of course, but more Homestory Cup stories later. That Disruptor's on cooldown for now, so we're not going to see any cool shots just yet, but I don't think he's going to need them. That Colossus isn't even part of the fight, and that's going to be the game, like, sealer-dealer. He's got to be able to see those Banshees to shoot back, maybe warp in another Stalker or two. I mean, he took some bad trades with the Marauders moments ago, but, ooh, that Colossus laser's looking fierce. The Disruptor shot comes up a little bit shy. The Warp Prism, I'm surprised, is still alive, but nothing to really shoot it down. And the Immortals are going to take care of a lot of those Marauders. New Zealots warp in. SCV's pulled the back line. Pulling the boys doesn't work, but there's a Colossus waiting for him. Oh my god, this game. There's a 1-1 upgrade lead for Marine Lord, but he doesn't seem to be able to use it at all. Range, explosive damage, all these things combined are just making it impossible to take a fight here. And Marine Lord, who had all the power in this game for so long, yeah, he's got to tap out. GG. Mana was like, I'm already Tracer. That was a bad meme. I regret making it. All right, game 2 is going to come up, and it will, of course, be Marine Lord's pick. But this is where we get into the interesting thing, where if Mana doesn't like the map Marine Lord picks, he does have 1 veto in his pocket to possibly use. Either way, gotta wait to figure out what's going on. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. I had to think about that for a moment. My brain is still in Germany, but yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Wednesday so far. How's the jet lag? Not so bad. You know, honestly, the worst part about jet lag is usually for people on a regular schedule, they have to adapt to a new time zone. But the fact that I got home and I slept immediately and I already have this schedule for casting where I'm all over the place, I never really felt the effects of jet lag. How do we trigger the Rattata? The alerts for that are off right now. I could go turn them on. So I'll explain the alerts in a second because it's not actually on purpose. How come we're seeing Twitch is slipping in ads every couple of minutes? I don't know what to tell you guys. The ad button has been fucked since before we even left. If you guys remember, it was playing ads like every 2 minutes and I couldn't stop it. And then like the really fucked up thing was I didn't get any revenue from that because Twitch was just bugged for like 3 days. I mean, that was my experience before leaving. I just assumed it would be fixed by the time we're back. But yeah, typically, if you guys are unfamiliar with Basetradetv, I try to wait. I'm not playing ads now. Let's be clear. I'm not about to hit ads. I wait till we're on this screen, and that's when I do the ad button. I don't really like having people run ads over games and stuff like that. In fact, I'm very passionately against people abusing the ad system. So if you get stuff like that, the best thing I can suggest is just like maybe reporting a bug to Twitch. I mean, sometimes I legitimately just hit the ad button wrong because I'm a fucking idiot, but then I always try to apologize for it. So I don't know who or what saw stuff. Anyways, what was I saying before? Someone had asked me a question I wanted to answer. Oh, right. How do we trigger the Rattata? So I can fix that in a second. I can't do it right now because we're about to hop into another game. But when I changed all my alerts for Homestory Cup, I wanted to be all Mexican themed and just have it be fun, cool stuff. So I had to, unfortunately, temporarily remove the Rattata and the 420 and the Avilo and the other Mimi alerts because I want to just make it clean for Homestory Cup. Now, remember, they're not deleted. I just had to disable them. So all I got to do is turn them back on, which will take a few minutes. But I'll do that during the next commercial break. So, yeah, thank you guys for your patience. I guess is all I can really say. Let's hop into game number 2, spawning here in the top left side of the map. This man looked like he had control of game 1. Unfortunately, lost it. Nonetheless, we have the blue Terran player, Marine Lord. Also in the bottom right, we have the red Protoss Mana, who is about to get proxied. I really liked the start of last game from Marine Lord, all the way up to the soft contain. I mean, his proxy mind games that didn't really work, to the actual positioning of where he decided to root himself down with the bunkers and the tanks. There was a lot of really clever tactics that I just thoroughly enjoyed out of everything Marine Lord did. And I think if Mana had been a player to panic a bit more and not handle that so calmly and efficiently, I think Marine Lord could have won that game. But credit to Mana, where it's due. He handled that situation as he needed to, and the Disruptor play was just fantastic. I like this map too. Do you want to ruin it for me? Don't worry, guys. This is just a normal looking map. Kairos Junction is actually a really interesting one. Mana had preemptively vetoed Automaton, and I guess that's something we're going to have to work out. So, when I was speaking with Darius about this, my language and my understanding I was trying to convey for a new map system to try things out was a veto system that could be used at any time, not one that had to be used preemptively. So for example, in the series where Denver was playing, after he hosted the map, Showtime chose to veto, and while it looked like a dick move, and it was, that's how it was intended to be. However, in this situation, Mana had just chosen to preemptively veto Automaton, something that may or may not affect the series. But just to note, that's not the method I was hoping to go for this. Regardless of, like I said, today's tournament, not only did I just want to host a tournament because, hey, it's content, but also it's a test of a new system. I really do want to find that sweet spot of something that works well for the viewers and works well for those who are playing. Because unfortunately, like if you do vetoes, it can sometimes take a long time and draws out the tournament, and having to do it for every round adds like suddenly 40 minutes of downtime that you didn't have other than just like bim bam boom, loser's pick, let's go, let's go, let's go. Which, as I'm learning as we go on more and more, a lot of players don't actually like the loser's pick system. So like I said, it's about trying to find a sweet middle ground, and that's what today's a bit of a test for. Now this Marauder proxy is kind of cute. First off, I love how much damage the probes did to those Marauders. I know the Stalker was shooting it too, but nice job trying to push this back. Concussive Shells is done. That's the light blue Marauder attack. He could actually kill that Stalker if he doesn't get surrounded by probes. But if he does get surrounded by probes, it's bad times because, of course, probes are good against Marauders, funny enough. If that bunker had completed, this would be so much trouble for Mana. But the fact is, the shield battery's here. The bunker's probably going to get canceled. This Marauder proxy has not panned out for him the way he wanted it to. However, this is a tech lab, not a reactor coming down on this factory, so I gotta say it's probably a Cyclone, and probably gonna be, yup, Mag Field Accelerator. Now, if I had spoken a little more quickly and I had said all that before he started building these, I would have seemed much smarter than I am. However, this is just kind of a predictable follow-up to somebody who has forced out a lot of Stalkers with their earlier Marauders. Nice reaction time in Amano, by the way, to kill that last one. But for those who don't know about the Cyclone changes, well, you've seen Lock-On, you know it's pretty powerful. The thing you might not be so acquainted with, though, is the Magfield Accelerator upgrade. This gives them an additional 400 damage versus Armored. Now, that's over a large period of time, in which case, you know, during that time period, Mana could pick up and drop, he could Warp Prism things around, lift up with a Phoenix. There are counterplays around Lock-On, but Lock-On, in some select scenarios, like what you're about to witness, is going to look broken as fuck. It takes, with the upgrade, which is not done yet, it takes like 5 shots to kill a shield battery or something insane like that. Or maybe it was the Stalker. Regardless, it can kill things pretty quickly while kiting and running away. And part of what's happening here is the barracks is trying to stay in place to scout and, more importantly, provide vision for that Cyclone to lock onto things and to kill. Is that not high ground? Can you not hide above this? Oh, dang alert. Anyways, Magfield Accelerator is done now, so watch this. Okay, well, you ran out of range. It's really low. Look, the hype here's been killed a little bit, okay? It's fair, but just to be perfectly clear, the interaction with these units is very different than what it was pre-patch. And while this didn't get the broken early game Magfield Accelerator damage that he wanted it to, I want you guys to remember here, 3 Cyclones are dealing up to 800 damage against any of the units Mana has. So if Mana has to eat a Lock-On for any reason, he is guaranteed to lose a unit. There's no doubt about that. I think Lock-On also has like, what, a 4-second cooldown? Yep. So what's really great about Warp Prism play is it can break the Lock-On just by picking something up and dropping it. However, the Warp Prism itself can also, in turn, get locked on, and oh no. Two players passing each other in the middle of the map. Really unfortunate here for Marine Lord. That would have been a huge catch. That would have been devastating, actually. However, he's still going to end up finding very little pushback because of this warp prism being on the other side of the field with the Immortal. So he's going to come in here. He's going to see that pylon. He's going to lock on to, well, pretty much anything he wants to, frankly. Pylon does go down. The Immortal starts up. Oh, that tank is in siege mode, so there's a dead zone. That's a freebie. The Cyclones are rushing back home to deal with this. A Viking is en route. We got a warp in coming now, too. That tank's going to have to work overtime to try and stay alive through this, because that Immortal is made here to break things like a tank. The Zealots are surrounded by the SCVs. It's the best he can do for the time being, but it's going to hurt. He's going to lose like 5 or 7 SCVs for this. Lock-on does catch the Immortal. He tries to save one for the Warp Prism, because, of course, if the Warp Prism comes close, it's going to die. So he does take care of the Immortal. Costs him a Cyclone, but at the end of the day, Marine Lord holds on. Just a quick reminder, too, for any of those who are just kind of casually watching today, we do have more matches still coming. We got another best of 3 after this in the other semifinals match. That's going to be Showtime versus Bly, a PVZ. And then, of course, after that, the best of 5 grand finale. So sit tight, StarCraft fans. We got a little bit more to go through today before we're said and done. Also, just a quick reminder, we got, like, not many, like 10 or 15 of those match arena codes left. If you guys could help us cash in on those, that would be amazing. Just type !match arena there in the chat. Now the Viking's out, which would be great to help deal with the Warp Prism if it wasn't sitting in range of the Stalkers. Oh, no. That force field on the ramp is huge. There's no way to break this. There's no massive units. There's no medevac. You can't shuttle over it. I mean, there's another force field that's going to keep following this up, and this sucks for Mana, or for Marine Lord, excuse me. This is great for Mana, who does, I guess, he does take some damage on the other side of the field. Looks like a Liberator set up, so you know what? Tit for tat, my friend. Tit for tat. I think at the end of the day, this section doesn't end up being that bad. Mana has spent more time trying to deal with the Liberator than Marine Lord has had to deal with his drop. Lock on into the Warp Prism as well. Oh, can he get it? Yes. Big pickoffs there. No tactical or strategic recall. 8 SCVs die. Several probes go down with this. The worker kill count, actually, for that Liberator is really getting up to 13 deaths now. Damn. That worked out pretty well for a Marine Lord at the end of the day. I thought that was going to be so much worse for him. Mana's now down 10 workers, but he is up upgrades. He's got +1 going for him. More units that he warps in that are things like Zealots, things like Adepts. I think he got Resonating Glaives behind this too. So yeah, we're going to see more Adepts than Zealots. These light units won't take as much damage from the Cyclones. I think it could possibly then break the army. Because, I mean, there's not a lot of tanks to back this up, as there would normally be in a lot of these situations. Well, if their base is set up, maybe we'll drop a couple of mules, but here comes the break. Marine Lord, of course, doesn't know about this, but Mana did, thanks to that Observer on top of the army, so he picks off those Cyclones right away. The tank gets some really good shots off, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Marine Lord might be up a ton of workers, but he's going to have to pull all those boys if he wants to stay in this game. The Adepts are going to look really good, too. Remember, Resonating Glaives plus the +1. That's 2 shot on the SCVs. Oh, this is rough. I think Mana's got this. The Warp Prism almost goes down thanks to that Widow Mine, but even then, it doesn't seem to be enough, and he's feeling bold enough to just drop in the main base with it. So many SCVs die. So many probes go down. Another Banshee sits on the other side of the map. Why do you do it? Marine Lord finds a way to not die yet again. Because these trade-outs, of course, are bigger on economy than anything else. And, well, with so many probes dying... Okay, not enough yet. Not enough yet, but there doesn't seem to be, like all Zealots are warping in on the other side of the field. There's no Stalkers warping at home to stop the Banshee, right? So, yeah, all the SCVs have died from Marine Lord, but potentially all the probes could still die from Mana? Say potentially. I really don't know, guys. This is kind of crazy. He's rallied up a small resistance of his last units here at the back of his base. He's being very cautious that... Oh, he doesn't have Stim! Oh, no! Stim is like 10 seconds from finishing. He could take on those Immortals with Stim. There's no doubt in my mind about it, but without Stim, it's proven to be very difficult. 7 seconds to go. That force field should break. Marine Lord's got 7 workers, but 3 orbitals lived through this. Mules could possibly bring him back. Because Mana lost 19 probes while this went on, and he does not have a sick amount of economy behind this. In fact, he's starting to run out of minerals. He's been so heavily mining on gas, and that's all he really has going for him. That Banshee did work on the other side of the field. Still, though, I think on paper this looks worse for Marine Lord. There's no like, yeah. GG. I don't have to finish my sentence. I don't have to think of what to say because it's over. Mana with the 2-0 will knock out Marine Lord and go on to the grand finals of the tournament. But we have to find out the other semifinal match too. We got Bly versus Showtime, so possibly a PvP or PvZ grand finals. Either way, as I had mentioned, Marine Lord is in the money at this point. He's won at least $25, so that's not too bad. Continue on here in a moment. Our lovely admin Dares is going to host things up. I'm going to work on getting the Rattata alerts turned back on. So I'm going to send us a commercial break. I'll put those up there, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Thank you for watching. Are you streaming from a storage room? No, dude. I just have like a roommate, and I feel like she doesn't want to be on stream when she's in the kitchen, which is back there, so I just put up some shelves. It has all my cool stuff on it. Although, granted, it looks like fucking messy right now. I gotta clean that shit up. Anyways, see you guys soon. Okay, we're back, and I believe I've got my alerts fixed up. Ready, everyone? So it's Showtime versus Bly. Let me just change the title of the stream really quick before we do this. This is semifinals match number 2, and we still have the grand finals coming up, folks, which will be, of course, winner playing against Mana. But let's hop into Stasis. What more do I need to say about Stasis? You've seen the map. You know what it is. All right. I did fix the alerts though. So if you guys are delinquents who enjoy flushing money down the toilet, both 300 and 301 cheers have been restored to Wardy and Zombie Grubs sound bites. However, I don't know how loud they will be. I'm hoping not very loud at all, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, yeah, 301 bits for Wardy is back, 300 bits for Zombie Grub. You guys know the deal. Let's hop into game number 2. You're watching. Well, this tournament doesn't really have a name, frankly. It's just a great European Cup. 200 bucks up for grabs, possibly more. Old Jimmy coming in with some music. 27 months. He's cheering for Showtime. So let's start by introducing him. In the top left, it's the red Protoss Showtime, one of Europe and definitely Germany's best. In the top right, of course, we have the blue Zerg player. It's Bly, who didn't have the greatest tournament at Home Store Cup, but had some very surprising results. In some cases, like beating Sue in the groups. Did not expect that. I'm going to be rooting for Bly a little bit on this just because I don't like mirror matchups, and I think PvP in the current state of the game is a little lacking, I would say, just a little bit. However, if Showtime and Mana are the ones in the finals, I think I'm still going to have a very good time with it. Mod Scott, yeah, 300 bits is Zombie Grub, 301 is Wardy. So those old alerts have been restored to where they where they once were. Now, I had the fortune, the good luck of catching a lot. What is going on in the middle of this thing? It's in like, what the fuck? It's like 500% speed. Anyways, I had the good fortune and the good luck of casting a lot of Bly during Home Story Cup. I got to see some of his tactics, and a lot of those games were versus Zerg. And he was very consistently doing proxy hatcheries. Some were in base, some were on natural, some were just building into evolution chambers and buying / wasting a lot of time. Bly has been, frankly, just been playing as Bly would, as you would expect. But Showtime is taking the more lax response to this. If you're really freaked out about the timing, you end up pulling like 7 or more probes to kill this. In this case, he waited for the Zealot. He's got enough probes on it as well to not lose too much money, economically speaking, while still dealing with said hatchery. Thank you for the 100 bits, Jimothy. Wait, what's your name? Jimothy Jim. There you go. Thank you very much for that. 2 Zealots actually seems a little extreme. He may be thinking Bly is way overcommitted, but at the same time, he's got scouting on the other side of the field. So the beauty of the second Zealot is it stops the Evo chamber from being part of the build cancel. Bly's drone doesn't need to die right now. What it could do is scout. But he's certainly not going to be able to place down another hatchery. In fact, it's not even going to get a scout. Rest in peace. But yeah, Bly had some mixed results at Home Story Cup. And I don't mean in terms of like score and map, but I mean the way we would watch him play. Whether it was a proxy hatchery or whether it was a macro game, one thing that Bly has found a lot of success with, funny enough, has been Mutalisks. They haven't been changed, they haven't been nerfed, they haven't been buffed. They are still what they have been, and yet somehow he's starting to find some success with these units where other players aren't really going for them. Now, granted, a lot of that is more focused on versus Terran. Hello and goodbye, Zombie Grub. Thank you, Fazik, for the 300 bits. Totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, right. Versus Terran is where we've been seeing most of the Mutalist success, but he has been using them versus Protoss, so I'm actually really excited to see if he plans to use them versus Showtime or not. Thor was nerfed. Yeah, so they've found their place in CVT for understandable reasons, but my point is that we've been seeing some, through Home Story Cup at least, again, it's the only thing we have to go off of at the moment, but through Home Story Cup, I've seen quite a few Mutalist games on the B stream versus even Protoss. So we'll see whether that's where this game goes or not. Either way, it's Resonating Glaives coming out of Showtime. Is Chrono boosting this out? And I guess what we're going to have to keep an eye on for the production tab, as I tend to be a terrible commentator and not do myself, is how many extra gateways come down with this. This is something where Showtime absolutely does not have to all in with Resonating Glaives, but it does work for a lot of players in a lot of situations. The Adept doesn't pre-transfer, so she's going to die. It's a little bit rough losing that. Could have saved her, but oh my god, that's not perfect play. Who cares? As I had mentioned last time we were on the map, I just want to keep a reminder for everybody that it is pretty shallow at the top. These are air blockers, so whether it's an Overlord for scouting or whether it's a Warp Prism doing drops, there's not a lot of maneuverability to get up to this side. You have to go through this base. Which is really intriguing to me, by the way. I don't know whether it's broken or not, but I kind of like the way that they found a way to create a choke for air. Air blockers are not new in StarCraft 2, but they have not really had a lot of effective use over the few maps that have made it to ladder that do have them. Roaches coming out to help fight the Adepts is a better idea than Zerglings, but not by a lot, unfortunately. The Adepts are still going to be very strong, and the Resonating Glaives attack is going to be certainly surprising. Although Bly may have guessed that, because he did scout the Twilight Council researching something. I still got some good vision, too. He's going to see when that base goes up. It's hard to chase these Adepts, though. As you can see, even without committing to any kind of fight, he did already pre-force Bly to split his units in half. You know, some of the roaches went to the main trying to predict where the shade would go. Some of them kept chasing. It's so irritating dealing with adepts. And it's hard to guess whether players are going to be transferring or not, or maybe sometimes canceling the transfer. That's why you can't always just send everything to chase the shades. Either way, through the various holes in his defense and the fact that the roaches are not perfectly covering this, Bly loses 14 drones. And on top of this, it's made worse because he's lost a lot of mining and he didn't kill the adepts. This is a terrible game for Bly to start with. 18 drones dead. Now he's going to try and open up the walls, I guess. This will take a long time. But it is a more direct path that's not currently walled off. So maybe this will be worth it in the end. Sorry, I left that up there for a while. I was trying to decide on whether this is a cool move or not out of Bly. And I think it's a good... I mean, I like the idea of it. It's high ground on top of other things, but all that adept has to do is like touch the watchtower and he'll be able to see this coming. However, Showtime's nowhere near the watchtower. The adept's gonna grab it now. And oh, surprise, that's a lot of roaches. However, oh my god. Oh, no way. If Showtime just rushes, if he no brakes, he could force field this off entirely. And Bly would be stuck. And I believe... Okay, well, not quite the way I thought it would go down. Still kind of the way it ends up going down. He's gonna force field the ramp. The roaches will get stuck. He can't defend that third base. It's probably just gonna die. Bly's making some Ravagers now. Those will help break the force fields, which will be great. But Showtime double layers the force fields. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice touch. So still stuck behind the force fields. He spares the corrosive bile to hit the sentries head on, by the way. Breaks the sentries. But there's still so many immortals and adepts left over. As much as I want to get hyped for Bly, we also have adepts running rampant in the main base. We got a warp prism going with that. Ooh, a little bit of lag. Oh no. Hello? Stream, can you guys still hear me? What is going on? Okay, so it's in game and not me. What the heck was that? Did I drop any frames? No, I've still got no drop frames. Huh. Oh, it was Dares. Dares is probably playing fucking Artifact. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what happened there with Dares. Clearly a bit of an issue. Luckily, it did not affect the game. Not by much. Because lag or no lag, it's still a slaughterhouse. GG, Bly taps out. Showtime. Did this get like louder out of nowhere? I'm having sound or hearing issues today. I don't know which. Anyways, Showtime takes the game. But it's only map 1 into possibly more. Not possibly, should be more. We'll see what Bly picks. Oh, by the way, I think we've just used all the Matcherino codes. Or at least close to it, as we have raised $275.50. $200, of course, came out of Basetradetv pocket. Thank you guys for that. But as I said, and I really want to drive this home, I'm gonna be trying to do a sponsored stream. I'm gonna be streaming a game called Black Desert Online for 1 hour after the tournament is done today. Now, many of you might not care about it, but if you would like to try and make another tournament happen tomorrow, same big prize money, hopefully get some nice big players involved, I hope you'll continue watching, or at least leaving your stream on to watch it, because I will be paid a value proportional to the viewership for the game, and the viewership is going to drop off. It's not StarCraft 2. A lot of people are going to leave. They don't care about supporting tournaments or channels, and that's fine. You know, whatever. But for those of you who do care about going that extra distance, but you don't want to have to pay $1, you don't want to have to donate anything yourself, it's going to be so easy, guys. Just please stick around after the stream's done, because I don't know the exact value or the money or whatever that they'll put into it. I think that if we can hold like 500 viewers for an hour, I think it'll be enough to pay for another tournament, which would be awesome. But I don't know if that'll be the case or not. I'm still new to the bounty system. We've done 1 bounty to date, and it's kind of cool that this is an additional way we can possibly leverage viewership to get more tournament funding in the future. Anyways, we're in the lobby. The map is Blue Shift. All right, let's hop into it. I actually have an intro for this one. All right, game 2 kicks off. Spawning in the top right side of the map and staying in the top right side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It's Bly. And his opponent at the bottom left, the red Protoss Showtime. Darius in chat says, sorry again about that. My PC shit the bed. Dude, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens. If you had lagged out at a very crucial part of the game, more people might be more sour about it, myself included. But you are okay, buddy. The time at which you lagged out was... I think the game was pretty much already over, if we're going to be honest. But yeah, as we continue on with game 2, reminder, winner of this plays Mana in those grand finals. It'd be a best of 5. But Bly and many others are already up to 25 bucks earned. So, hey, that's not too shabby. Now, it is a proxy hatchery. Thank you, Preacher. I'll read that message in a second. I had asserted incorrectly that he wasn't going to stay at home. Very clearly, he is not. But Preacher with the $3, he says, I considered and decided in the affirmative. Go Riff. Preacher was the guy I got to play. Hey, if you guys remember that cool poker story, and I say cool here very with air quotes, Preacher and Bly were both involved with said story. So, hey, good times, man. Also, Firelicious, I missed your resub. Thank you for the 17 months. Yeah, Preacher was, he was witness, guys. He was playing poker at the tables with us when I got lucky. That blind luck. It's really weird. It sounds so hokey. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm about to sound like some Miss Cleo bullshit, right? But I have this weird thing where, like, I can tell when I'm going to feel unlucky or lucky. And maybe there's some confidence involved, which creates cause and effect. And I know that it's not real. But there are some times where I just get bullshit lucky. And when I called a blind ace playing poker with these guys and won without looking at my cards, I even said, guys, I'm feeling lucky right now. Because I knew. Anyways, there's some people who are questioning what Bly's doing right now, and I guess I'll go to some elaboration in a moment. Quick thanks, though, to Carl Fishy for the 300 bits, giving us some zombie rat-a-tat action. But this looks bad at a glance, right? Bly, what? He loses 143 minerals from building and canceling. He's lost a drone that worth mining. Is this worth it? Well, kind of yes. Look at the income lead from this, and look at the money that Showtime's had to spend on things like Zealots, which would... in most cases be kind of useless, but the fact that he's gone for a direct counterattack might actually make them kind of useful. Either way, more analysis, quote-unquote analysis in a moment. I think for Bly, this hatchery dedication looks silly. On paper, totally worthwhile. And those adepts are not at home to defend. The zealots are not either. It's a little awkward, so Showtime is going to chrono out that adept to deal with these zerglings, hoping and hopping up to the main base to get a couple more probe kills. It's called being tipsy? No, dude. That's just like, when you're tipsy, that's just confidence is what that is. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if I'm about to have a really unlucky moment, I can kind of feel it coming. Like, it's like this in video games, too. Like, okay, here's my best... When I first realized this, right? I was in some streamer's stream for a giveaway. Quick name drop here, if anyone remembers who Pterodactyls for the Win is. A.k.a. Sheila, great CSGO streamer. I joined her chat, and, like, she was giving away a copy of Ark. And I entered the giveaway, and the second I entered it, I had this really weird feeling in my stomach, and I knew, like, I was gonna win this game, and I fucking won the giveaway. Like, I don't know how to describe it, right? Like, a lot of this could be coincidence, and again, I'm not trying to pretend like this is a science or a real thing, but I have these moments where I, like, totally predict my luck correctly. And if you were to ask Bly or Preacher, these are two guys who could verify that bullshit because of the way we played poker at Home Story Cup. And to be honest, if you think about it, luck is like probably 90% of how I got to where I am today. Like, I don't know. Intuitive? Yeah, maybe intuition's a better word than luck. I like the idea of luck, though, because a quick little shout out to anyone who else watched Red Dwarf. I watched Red Dwarf growing up, and there's this episode with the luck virus, with the idea that just like you could catch a cold virus, you could also catch luck as a luck virus. You know, anyways. That's kind of just a thing I've thought about my whole life. Even though I know it's not real, it's sci-fi, it's writing, it's a TV show. Loved Red Dwarf, though. Red Dwarf and Blackadder. I was a Canadian kid who watched a lot of British television. Anyways, nice there, Hold. He completely obliterates the Zerglings. Bly's in some serious trouble. 13 roaches coming out would be enough to deal with the adepts if you could catch them head on, and just if Showtime was fighting. But Showtime is not fighting. Showtime's going to be dancing around, trying to catch the workers, trying to fake out some transfers here, attack over here. It's going to be tough. Bly is going to take a lot of losses before he cleans this up. But the roaches should eventually clean this up is the thing. But as I said, like, Showtime is target firing down drones. He's not just walking here aimlessly. He does kill 11 workers, which is... It puts Bly in a bad spot at 25. However, Bly is going to counterattack off this. And I like this for a couple of different reasons. One, he's got roaches plenty. That supply count is high. And if he makes even just 1 or 2 Ravagers, he's making 3. But if he makes some Ravagers, they'll be able to break the force fields that Showtime is kind of banking on to hold on to this game. Oh, the red-green show. What's that saying he always say? Like, if a woman can't find you handsome, she should find you handy, I think. All right, here comes the attack. A couple of force fields to break. It's key that the Ravagers don't all burn the corrosive bottles for damage too early. He will need to save 1 or 2 of these for said force fields, like here, because Bly had gone for the shots. He kills the building, but now the force field keeps him out of the base. However, Showtime's forces are way too small to split, and that's Bly's greatest advantage, his army supply. If he could run any of these links up to the main base, or just split the attention of Showtime for the wrong second, like we just saw here, he could take a win, even. Possibly in the game, he's going to obliterate every probe in the main base. He's running rampant over the natural. The Immortals might eventually hold this, but not before Bly gets his revenge on the worker count. And of course, there's more links flooding in where that came from. The sentries are gone. There's no force fields left. Bly turns in a bad defense into a great counterattack. GG. Bly will take us to a game number 3. But guys, a pretty standard tradition on the channel is about every 2 games we do a commercial break. So I know it doesn't feel like we've had one all that long ago, but it's been about...
I was born of rat attack.
It's been about 20 minutes, so we're going to go to a small 2-minute break while we get Game 3 set up. Thank you, Elite, for the 301 bits. I'll see you guys soon.
Sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. Feel your heartbeat. I could feel it somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel it somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe, and it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need.
And we're back. It's game 3 in the other semifinals. Reminder, guys, each of these players walks away with no less than $25. for their top 4 finish. However, it's 100 for first and 50 for second, so it just gets better and better. Let's see if they can keep up that win streak. To the top left, he's got 1 point on the board. It's the red Protoss Showtime. But of course, also with 1 point on the board in this tied up series, we've got the blue Zerg Bly. Now, I know the prize money's not the most sexy thing in the universe, guys. We don't got 25,000 on the line or anything crazy like that, but it's pretty nice for what is a short tournament. You know, it's like a 3 to 4 hour event. These guys come and play to get to play against some other great players on the patch and practice to the best of their capabilities. I mean, honestly, we had a lot of very notable noteworthy signups, I should say. Because while maybe some of them are dead, which is really sad and unfortunate, like Hearthstone, Special, Goblin, Talden, that meme, Braddock, Namshar, like we had a lot of really good players who came out to play today. And I hope that we could get, if all goes according to plan, if we can make some money with that sponsorship, that sponsor stream later, I hope we can do another one of these very soon. If not tomorrow, at least very soon. And get all these guys playing again. Because this was awesome. Anyways, that was kind of a cool move out of Bly. I'm not sure if you guys quite saw that while I was speaking, but he hit a drone over here. He was waiting for the probe to not cancel, block a pylon. As soon as it left, he went in and built the hatchery. While this is going down, on the other side of the field, he is messing with Showtime's economy. Again, not crazy drastically, but enough to get some small leads to do this build cancel shit. And I mean, all things considered, look, Bly loses 93 minerals plus probably the 50 for the drone eventually, right? And the time that this took, he messed with the economy enough to, I think, at least in terms of like trading even, accomplish that much. You know, you force a Zealot out of Showtime, that's 100 minerals he didn't want to have to spend. Add on to the fact that this Nexus was delayed for as long as it has been. Another hatchery in the main base. Okay, this might be going a little overboard. I don't know. The funny thing, though, is that this will keep the Zealot at home. Not the Adept, but at least the Zealot. So it's not going for the counterattack across the field. And like, Bly, I applaud you being who you are. You know, you're a peacock. I gotta let you fly. Spread your wings and fly. But I don't know about this one. If it's just a distraction, then I like it. If this is anything like he wants to actually build anything out of this hatchery, then I really don't like it. But we'll see if that cancel comes soon. I mean, if the hatchery finishes, he'll have enough time to build a single queen, I think, out of it. That'll be it. Is this the best of 3? Yes, you guys are tuning in for the best of 3 semifinals. You'll always see the score displayed down here by the minimap. There'll be a best of 5 grand finals after this, however. And I am really like on the fence. I don't know if this is gonna be Showtime or Bly. I thought this was gonna be a Showtime with the 2-0, but Bly fighting back hard. Tied up this, and I mean, he does let the hatchery finish. What the fuck? I don't know how to feel about this, guys. No, I said the queen might finish. She's not gonna finish. There's not enough time, lads. But the timing for this is interesting. So Bly does get 2 sets of Zerglings out of this. He surrounds the Zealot with the Broodlings, so he'll actually kill the Zealot with the Zerglings. Oh my goodness. This means that there's going to be chaos in the probe line. While this goes on, there's a frontline defense, a shield battery, a sentry, a force field or 2. And I mean, Showtime shouldn't lose to this, I don't think. But 4 Zerglings in the main being microed out of Bly. Well, you know what? Actually, now there's a shield battery. It's a lot better for the defense. But this is still chaos for Showtime, who's working on a very low army supply account. Like, he really doesn't have much. 6 units. His whole army is right here. You are looking at his whole army. The SimCity's been pretty good building back through this. Some Zerglings on the other side help kill this pylon. That's the 4 Zerglings for that proxy hatchery. No way are these going to help him win the game, but they totally help. Wait, this wasn't a wall. This wasn't even a fucking wall. Those probes are just walking around it. What are we watching? What's happening? Morty. I mean, Bly has to win off of this, right? As cute as this is, trading out is not enough. Showtime has more probes. He's got 2 bases. Like, there's recovery for Showtime for sure. I don't think Bly did enough damage. Oh, as more links flood across the map, there's gonna be maybe 1 force field, probably not even. If Bly just hops on this lower, like the southern gateway, he has an easy way to get back in, and oh, he's even gonna go for a Bane bust. He's crazy. He's gonna commit. Showtime's actually kind of opening the door for him a little bit too, which is funny. And actually, what's really noteworthy, guys, is if a shield battery was here, the Bane bust wouldn't work. But with only a force field to stop it, he could totally break through. And Showtime's actually going to be in the wrong place, the wrong time. The Adepts don't want to be out here to soak the Banelings. Ling's coming for the surround. The force field goes down, but this is his only force field to work with. He's going to break the gateway. Oh my god, Showtime. Like Europe's best Protoss player. He's so good at this game. And he's going to die to this bullshit. That hatchery at the main ended up being so worthwhile. He breaks him. 2 army supply, 1 Adept. That's all he's got. Oh, this Baneling comes to the main. Shield batteries, of course, have like 50 less shields and 50 less health than they had before, but that thing's not the target of any kind of attack. It's out of juice, too, so Bly could possibly surround, but he just keeps flooding it with links. I don't think Showtime can hold on to this. He's got more probes, but none of them are mining. They're also busy running in circles. I just want to point out that that's also not a wall on the right side again. He pulls back to make a couple more Banelings. 22 workers. Mining has just been all over the place. I don't know how to call it for income. If Bly breaks his last set of Adepts with a couple of Banelings and Lings, that should be it. Like, Showtime is seriously out of his extra lives. He's catted this up pretty hard with like several extra lives. The shield battery in the mineral line is going to help a ton. That Baneling is going to get a hit off. Splash big on those Adepts. Lots of Zerglings flooding in. But they're saying, fuck this. There's a shield battery there. Why fight there when we can fight up here? He's going to try and burn some of the shields with the probes before the Adepts even get here. Oh, you're probably trying to kill them? Oh, is Bly trying too hard at this point? My concern is, like, Bly at this stage of the game, like, he hasn't backed away to build more Banelings. He's still just flooding in with Lings. And they're kind of being inefficient, really. Like, he takes all the energy out of a shield battery and then fights somewhere else where there is energy on the shield battery. Then drains the energy in the shield battery, allowing this one to get its energy back. Like, I feel Bly is trying to be too fancy and do too much. Thus my comment that I think he's trying too hard. If he had just continued, like, a non-stop onslaught to the natural base, I think Showtime's actually straight up dead. I think it's the fact that he keeps trying to go elsewhere that is really hurting him, because he's having a lot of hard times recovering from this. Now Showtime's got a resonating glaives and a really worthwhile Adept army. Guys, this is turning around on Bly in the worst of ways. This chat wants to point out Showtime still has more probes. Yep, income has been pretty good. The only time he really lost out on income was when he fully pulled off of mining. As you guys can see, that's about a minute and a half ago. More links hoping that the doorway has been left open and no Banelings in sight. Bly, I guess, he hasn't had a lot of gas income. 7 Banelings are coming at home. He's gonna be using them on the defense. It's kind of tough. If Bly brings all of his links back home, he'll be okay. Oh, the Adept in that transfer game. He really is trying to keep those Banelings alive to get the hits. Rashichiro, thank you for the 17 months. Hadn't balance whined about the new patch yet? Oh, you should have been balance whining weeks ago before the patch even hit, obviously. Basetradetv, don't you dare doubt the defensive capabilities of, and I'm going to say this wrong, I know it's Showtime's nickname, Die Maurer. Don't ever do it again. Look, the reality is, I love Showtime, right? His defense was all right. But Bly's the one who kind of really started throwing this away. I mean, I want to praise Showtime. I want to be with you guys on, like, the hype train for this sick defense, but this was definitely, I feel, a lot more on Bly than it was on Showtime. Rat-a-tat. Hey, hello, Zergling. Thank you for the 300 bits. How bad did I say that name, by the way, guys? Read it as D? Okay. But Die sounds cooler. I don't know. The D-Maurer? D-Maurer! D-Maurer. Alright, whatever. It's Showtime. We fucking know who it is. He's awesome. And he's possibly coming all the way back in this game. Bly losing an Overlord just now. Actually, supply blocked him. He's got Burrow, so... Oh. No way. There's got to be an Observer out. But if Bly pulls off some sort of crazy broad Baneling hits, that could be so sick. Let's say it with an Arnold accent. Yeah, but Arnold's Austrian, not German. Showtime's German. Hello? Come on. Okay, here goes my best Arnold impression. Die Mauer. That sounded stupid to you guys, as it sounded to me. Oh God, please let us just get the sickest clip of this. I have no idea if Showtime realizes that there was any kind of burrow play. I don't believe he saw this. His army is kind of split up because he's waiting for this to go the like different directions. I don't know if he just wants to bait this or what. If this walks over the Banelings, it's devastating because these are Banelings that could not normally connect to the army, right? The idea is going to be force fields. You can't rotate the force fields. It's a bad time. I really think Bly wants to bait this, but Showtime's not taking the bait. And I don't know if it's because he knows better or if he's just being extra cautious. That's what's scary for Bly too. He doesn't know whether this bluff is going to get called or not. So he leaves the Banelings there in hopes that something's going to walk over it. And if it does, it's going to be super sweet and worthwhile. But the Banelings walk in, and once again, it's almost too obvious at this point, I feel. Either way, they don't successfully bait out anything yet. He is doing an okay job policing the third, but Bly's pretty dedicated with this. And on the other side of the field, we got Adepts warping in, so it's do or die. Very literally. I feel like Showtime knows this is here. This Adept is kind of like, you know when you play Minesweeper, you put a little flag down to mark where things are? That's kind of what that Adept is. The drones do burrow and give away the fact that there's burrow, by the way. This is a smart move out of Bly. Oh, no, that was almost the donut. This is kind of a smart move out of Bly to stop the Adepts from killing everything. I like that move. He unburrows the Banelings. No cheekiness is going to work. He tries to get to the back line. He gets an okay hit, but it's not good enough. The Banelings are just being destroyed by these force fields. Oh my god, but then they get some Hail Mary connects. Still not good enough. An exciting end to a great best of 3, but that will be the end of this best of 3. Showtime will move on to the grand finals, where he faces off against Mana to play a best of 5. Now I realize I have slouched in my chair since that game. And I could get up right now, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be quite honest. I'm very comfy. All right, first map is on Port Alexander. Let me go get that hosted up. Oh shit, we have the same mic. Dude, Rode. I'm not technically by any means sponsored by Rode, but I do love the quality of their microphones. It's next level stuff. It's so good. Why does mine sound good, but yours sounds so bad? I don't know, dude. I've got a couple of VSTs on. It's helping me out. Thanks for streaming. Any home story cup stories? I've told a lot of home story cup stories, Scorpion Warrior, but I, of course, have plenty more where that came from. Maybe we can get into one or two. Get this invites and lobbies hosted. But yeah, we are going to the grand finals now. Showtime says he needs a couple of minutes. No problem. So if he's going to go to the bathroom, I'm going to abuse this time to play a commercial break, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. When we get back, it's a best of 5. It starts on Port Alexander. I'll see you soon. All right, back, and we are at the moment still waiting on Showtime. As soon as he's back and good to go, he probably just went to the bathroom or something, but as soon as he's back and good to go, we'll get this finals game started. Just gonna chat with Mon a little bit about Home Story Cup. But yeah, Home Story Cup was kind of interesting for a couple of different reasons. I wasn't quite... Like, I don't know how to phrase this. I feel like if I say this wrong, someone's going to, like, clip it out of context and try and create drama where there's not. But there were some disagreements I had with the staff about a couple things, and part of it was, like, they really wanted... Like, they were... How to phrase it? Like, they were treating my stream like Take TV B stream, and not like Basetradetv. So for example, I got a lot of pushback on trying to do things like play marbles and stuff, like stuff we do on the channel. So I had to kind of like call Mom, and I'm like, hey Dennis, look dude, like I'm having a great time, like it's good, but I'd like to do these things better / differently. And then he would go to the production staff and be like, no, let him do it, it's fine. And I don't know. Home Story Cup was everything I wanted, and at the same time, not what I expected. So that's why I'm like worried about people taking it out of context, because it was so rough dealing with the B stream, but I had such a good time overall that it really outweighs any negatives I could have possibly felt about anything. At any rate, guys, it's game number 1 in the grand finals of this sort of nameless tournament. Spawning here on the top left side, we have the blue Protoss. It's Showtime. And at the bottom right, we have the red Protoss. Team Liquid's Mana. And as far as like the B stream stuff, like just another comment, and this is more of like a criticism, not a complaint. There was a lot of downtime that ended up happening with the B stream that I think was avoidable. Whether it was doing a mini game like marbles while there's nothing going on, or whether it was just like a more efficient way to run the bracket. Either way, like, again, no real hardcore complaints, but I did wish we had a little bit less downtime and frankly, a little more uptime on players coming and going. Like, there were some players who cast with me during Home Story Cup, and I have no ill will, nothing bad to say about him. But for example, when Soul came over, you know, he's already a very stoic fella. If you guys have ever met him in real life, he doesn't say much in the first place. So he was casting with me, and it helped out a little bit with the stream, but it, as you guys listened, was mostly a Rifkin solo cast. And I think the problem is there are a lot of players at Home Story Cup who don't want to cast, but they're not going to say that either. And I feel like if that communication had gone a little bit more smoothly, I would have had a better uptime with the people I was working with. Again, criticism, not a complaint. But Home Story Cup was great, and I'm really glad that it got such crazy good viewership. I mean, like, before we got a little accidentally left out of that one game, we were like on like 8K viewers for a point or something. It was on the up and up. We had such a good time on the B stream, and then the main stream killed it. Like, Dennis was pulling, like, what was it, like 50K viewers at a point during day 3, I think it was. More obviously during the finals. Their rerun got like 20K viewers or something, if I recall. Home Story Cup was so bloody successful in my opinion. So, I mean, all the best. And I hope Dennis hit all his marks with whatever he wanted to with sponsors and stuff, because more Home Story Cups like that Home Story Cup, even if I'm not involved, would be great. Small Jam says, if invited, will you do it again? Yes, but I would want to get a lot more information sorted between us ahead of time. Like, there were some minor things, like, for example, when they booked the tickets, the flights that they had booked ended up, for example, not allowing baggage. So I had to pay. If you guys remember me talking before we left about like some last moment expenses and stuff, I ended up having to pay close to $200 Canadian each way for baggage because it wasn't included in the ticket. And like, how am I going to go to Germany for a week on just a backpack? You know? So some small things like that I would love to get fixed if we ever go again. But otherwise, yeah, absolutely. If Dennis gave me the opportunity, even if it was more 12-hour days, 10 out of 10 would do it again. I actually, the other thing that was a little sad too is I didn't get a lot of great interaction between the main stream. Like, I wish we could have seen some more of that. But on the B stream, again, the room was secluded. It was on its own. I had a good time. But again, more interaction, more players involved. I think there's just a lot of ways it goes up and up, but it's coming from a point where it's already great. Like Home Story Cup, from my experience of not experiencing Home Story Cup in the B stream room, was great. I hope you guys had a good time with it too. Again, I know like a lot of the shenanigans on the mainstream, like In Control telling his stories and whatnot, are always what I've always loved about Home Story Cup. So it felt a little weird not getting to hear that, I guess, because I was part of the production through the B stream. Anyways, I'm doing a lot of not talk about the game, and we should probably highlight some of the things that have developed for this, as we are in the grand finals after all. And that's a very distinct build difference. We of course had Mana go for the Robo, Showtime go for the Stargate. PvP through the patch, I mean, we haven't seen enough of it to really talk about the balance affecting it, because everything I've seen, at least out of like I think the one that I cast all Home Story Cup, it looked very much like PvP before the patch. So I don't know. Also, I see Tom in the chat. Oh, and speaking of the devil, hey, Control, hope you're doing well, man. Quizclem, thank you for the 44-month resub and a little bit of hype music. A couple of the adepts come in, and with 2 of them shooting at a time, focus on the right target. Same with the oracles. They can target fire down the probes, and that's exactly what Showtime's trying to do, assassinate the workers. Gets in, kills 6. All right, loses his adepts for it, but the oracles get out alive, so that's a possible round 2 coming a little bit later. I think that ultimately, of course, Showtime gets a bit of a bump from this, but we'll see how long this lasts, because, of course, it's a quick recovery from Mana. Chrono Boost helps out a lot with that, of course. Ooh, almost gets one of the oracles. 1 single health she skirts away. Yikes. I was going to recall the oracles from the top right. That's a clever move to get them out safe. The observer from Mana actually has like the best vision you could hope for right now. It sees the entire army. It's gonna now see the stasis traps going down too. But Mana's got to break through the front if he ever wants to get up to that part. That's what's so clever about this. The stasis traps will completely destroy any sort of blink play. So if Mana's plans were to back away from up here, take a side flank, and try and blink up to the main, he get caught in the stasis wards. That was really smart out of Showtime. But again, that observer from Mana is huge. He saw the traps go down. He knows what's up. What else goes on though? Those oracles that, granted, almost died, but did live, start moving across the map again. And Mana doesn't really have a lot to defend with. Even if he decides to recall, only a small amount of units are going to come home. I think he's going to keep trying to pressure on the other side of the field. Immortals greater than Stalkers, but a lot of Stalkers can beat out Immortals. Oof. Oh, the Zealots, they don't even get to the army. They just die dead on arrival. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to do hotkeys again. I've got that fixed out for you now. But 16 Stalkers, I don't know. When controlled like he's been doing, I think beat out the Immortals. In an A move versus A move situation, not going to stand a chance. But that's not what's happening here. Both players are microing their hearts out. We're seeing a lot of really good control come down with this. That Warp Prism continuing to micro, not really micro, I guess warp in's the better phrase. Get those units in, but he can also start picking up the Stalkers in a pinch, or those sentries, for example. On the other side of the field, the Oracles come in and they're going to be... Wait, what were they attacking there? The Stalker? It looked like they were shooting the shield battery. That was weird. But the Oracles, okay, they've done a great job of minimizing workers on the other side of the field. Like, if this trades out evenly, Showtime comes out ahead because he's up an upgrade and, like, 10 workers. So Mana really, like, I love the idea of what he was trying to do here. Didn't pan out for him. Now there's more Immortals coming out. He's got more workers. Everything in this game feels like Showtime should be doing better. But keep in mind, all of this income that he's earned, this lead that he's had, that's been invested in things like shield batteries that he's just never going to be able to really use past this point of defense. So that's why we don't see this immediate counterattack. Showtime just literally can't. It wouldn't be worth it. All of his money that he's invested is stuck at home in the natural base. So maybe he deflects this next attack, then he counters. Or maybe he deflects the next 2 attacks, then he counters. Either way, he should be able to hold this shield battery, keeping the Zealots alive in the front line, looking real good. Stalkers blink in. They're going to try and focus down the Immortals, but that's where the pickup out of Showtime keeps that micro alive. GG. Showtime, baby. Takes game 1 here in the grand finals. Mr. 5. Now, hey, I have not advertised this at all this stream, so I'm just going to quickly throw this in. towards the end here, guys. If you are enjoying games like this, replay packs will be sent out to our combination of Patreons as well as our subscribers via Discord. So if you want replay packs, you want to study and practice any of these games, you can either for $4 a month through Patreon receive replay packs or subscribe. But apparently subscribing is fucked up right now. When I logged into my phone in Germany, I don't know what VAT is, but it made subbing cost like $9. What the fuck? So at this point, if subbing is that expensive, it's probably the better, cheaper alternative to support our Patreon for $4 a month and get the replay pack value. Value added tax. Yeah, whatever that is. Fuck that. Anyways, so if you guys don't want to pay all that money to subscribe and you don't have Twitch Prime available, our Patreon is another source because it is frankly the cheaper option. You don't get cool Twitch emotes, you don't get some of the codes and discounts that subscribers do, but you will get the replay packs. All right, so we're just kind of going over the veto system with the players. We have the next map up. It's going to be Automaton. If you guys don't know how the veto system works, I'll explain it in a second. But the players are ready, so let's just hop into the map. Okay, so we are trying a new veto system. That is the whole point of why I'm hosting this tournament today. The veto system is something I have spoken with several players about over the last few months, and I think with some of the more concrete responses I got at Home Story Cup, it made me feel comfortable enough to try pushing it out. So a lot of the concern is a lot of people don't like loser's pick in the tournaments we run, and that's fine. You don't have to have a concrete reason. You can just dislike it if you just dislike it. But there's been some pretty good legitimate reasons behind it. So what we've changed now is it is still a pre-picked map. It is still going to be loser's pick, but each player has a veto they can use to keep the maps from totally screwing them over. However, the misconception from today's tournament I've seen in 2 different instances now is that you do not have to veto ahead of time. You do not have to put out there like, I don't want to play an Automaton ahead of time. You can keep the veto in your pocket for a no fuck you moment, right? So you're like, oh, I want to play on Automaton. Well, no, fuck you. I'm going to veto that one, and then you got to pick a different map. Part 2, thank you for the 200 bits. And I love that everyone has taken the time to explain VAT to me in chat. What does VAT mean, guys? I don't think I figured it out yet. I need like a dozen more people to copy paste the same message. Anyways, but yeah, so subbing, I know Twitch in general seems to be getting more expensive. Bits are more expensive. They had like a Black Friday deal or something on bits. Subbing is more expensive. So, like, honestly, guys, at this point, I love all that support. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, if you guys need to get replays, there's cheaper alternatives. Score. Thank you, guys. I've been rambling and mumbling. There we go. And I guess I didn't really do the intro, so quickly in the bottom left, it's Mana. In the top right, it's Showtime. Hey! Greets you in pineapple without pizza. Luke? God damn it, that was confusing to read. You know, I actually recently applied to, I can't say what or who, but I applied to a company for a partnership program with Basetradetv, and I remember they put like this section where it's like, oh, tell us a little bit about yourself. And I put, I don't like pineapple on pizza, and toilet paper should always come over the top of the roll. Because honestly, guys, if that's not good enough for them, or they have differing opinions, maybe I don't want to work with this company. This is a real story. This happened yesterday. The new sub song and dance. What dance? Oh shit, that's right. I was on camera when that happened. Yo, at Home Story Cup, actually, if you guys remember, there was like an eBay ad that would always play immediately after we went to break. And every single person I cast with, Namshar was great about this too. Every time that eBay music commercial came on, it had a really great beat, like some sort of song to it. So we would just start dancing. Like, it was always a dance party when we went to break. And I was like so scared that like one time production would just cut the camera back to us because we looked embarrassing. And Namshar, who was drinking non-apple juice at the time, he was really getting into it for some of the dance. We were having a fun time. I loved hanging out with Namshar on the B stream. Anyways, Battle Not, VAT, thank you for the 46 months. T-Skittles coming in for 4. Thank you guys so much. This game has once again developed very similarly to last game. Mana putting his emphasis on Blink. Showtime going for that Stargate, but this time it was on Proxy. And that timing is pretty nice. It gets here, there's no shield battery, barely a stalker for the defense. 2 more coming up to the main base. He can walk away from this. He got a little bit greedy, going back for another probe. But he keeps that Oracle alive, and round 2 should be just as deadly as the first. 5 probes dead's a nice start. Mana now down in the hole quite a bit. Oh, Showtime's following this up with the depths too. This is so nasty. Even if the Stalkers could hypothetically deal with the Adepts or the Oracle, he couldn't deal with both at the same time. That's where this is going to get really tough, because Mana will get worker kills. Now the fear is this is all of Mana's army, excuse me, Showtime's army, excuse me. So if Showtime loses this army in the attack, attempting to kill all these probes, this could still go really badly for him. Picks off the sentry, that was kind of a nice touch. He's going to recall the Adepts out of it. That's the clever move I like about this. An Oracle goes down. Nice reaction out of Mana. Quick grab over there. But yeah, if he had lost those Adepts, and a counterattack would ensue, and Showtime would likely die, or at least lose control of his natural base, get soft contained. We've seen it happen a million times in PvP. But these 4 extra Adepts, not just for their damage, but for their ability to actually soak a Stalker shot, are so valuable. So there's a shield battery up, there's a sentry. I mean, Mana's feeling pressured into this all in. Like, he realizes he's behind workers, and there's nothing he can do to just macro that back. This Oracle is on a rampage. This thing's on 9 kills already. The probes are not mining, so they're transferring. That's a huge loss of money. And Mana's attack with Blink heads across the map. I'm not sure how this will play out, though. Guardian Shield, a shield battery? I mean, there's not a lot of damage output in Showtime's army. He can certainly take some hits, but only to a point. He's pulling the probes. A lot of the Stalkers from Mana are low. Here comes the Immortal. Showtime with the clutch hold. GG. Takes a 2-0, but it's not over yet, guys, because there's possibly one more game, as it's a best of 5, not a best of 3. However, as we get into this next game, maybe it's a 3-0. I want to, again, make this deal with you guys here in chat. I'm going to try a Bounty Board sponsored stream as soon as the finals are done. Many of you will leave, and many of you won't care about it. But that Bounty Board could possibly, if not definitely, supply enough cash to host another one of these tournaments as soon as possible. Maybe tomorrow, and if players aren't ready for tomorrow, then the day after. So even if you are not interested in Black Desert Online, which is the game I'll be streaming after this, consider leaving the stream on and checking it out so that we can host more cool content. Luke Bomber says, is it weird that I get notifications that your stream is live, not from Twitch, but from StarCraft 2 in-game stream because I'm in the Basetradetv channel? I don't know. But they're ready. Let's just hop into it, guys. It's Parasite, Game 3, possibly the last one. See you on the map. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's game number 3. Things are looking pretty good for our blue Protoss. Unfortunately for him, with no points on the board, he is on his last life at the top left side of the map. We got the red Protoss, Team Liquid's Mana. And his opponent in the bottom right, the blue Protoss, Showtime, who's up 2-0. But guys, I want you to do me a little bit of a favor here. As you know, I'm all for supporting other streamers, especially people who do StarCraft 2. And during Home Story Cup, she cast a lot of games with me. Real quick here on the B stream. Alaris, for those who don't know her very well, is streaming. I guess she's dyed her hair again. Oh, anyways, Just quickly, if you want to head over to her channel, I've linked it there in the Twitch chat. She's a fantastic, fun person, and if you want to get some more good StarCraft content, she's someone to check out. She's probably going to be doing more Home Story Cup stories, but she is that person who... who unfortunately has helped me take the #1 clip spot on the channel. Yo, it's really frustrating when you look at the 2 clips we have. Our top clips are not about StarCraft at all. Our top 2 clips of all time are about Annie getting fucked over by a dumb little trick and about me playing marbles, which makes me wonder, why did I spend all this time investing in esports and StarCraft when apparently all I needed to do was be a cringe lord who's really lucky? My success would have blown the fuck up. I guess I love this game too much. Anyways, for Mana and Showtime, we've been seeing very different builds out of these guys through the 2 games so far. Mana insisting on a lot of the Blink play, Showtime insisting on Stargate play, whether it be in proxy or at home. This time it's looking pretty similar. Small deviations in terms of what comes out of the gateways, but the timing, and more importantly, the gases, make me really wonder if they're actually going to split what they're doing, or if it'll be the same direction once again. Robus says, Rifkin, how did that work casting with her? I would think that you would have to be approved by Take TV. Yes, so let me tell you guys how the B-Stream casting stuff works. Quick note, by the way, it is not a Stargate out of Showtime. He is in fact proxying a Twilight Council at the corner of the map. And I'm curious how he plans to play this out, but Showtime, you cheeky guy, I like it. Smile on my face. When it comes to the B-Stream stuff, I didn't really get to pick. Like, I am multiple times requested that they go find somebody like Zombie Grub or Wardy or one of the players, and instead I would get people like Soul and Goblin. Great players, but they don't talk very much for English, and of course they don't have a lot of thoughts when casting the game, so it's kind of a sticky situation. So what ended up happening was basically they had an admin who was in charge of picking who would come to the B stream with me, and I didn't always agree with his options. I actually got in a little bit of a fight with him, to which at the end of the event I did make sure to take the time to apologize for. You know, I let him know, like, I know you're just doing your job, it's not you, it's just I was stressed, so I hope you understand from my point of view, I'm sorry. Yada yada yada. But yeah, so for people coming backstage, whether you saw Snoot or Zancer, Annie, whoever, Penguin came by a lot too. I didn't have control over any of that, and I don't have any complaints. Well, I have things I would like to improve, obviously, but ultimately I had a really great time with everybody. I had never cast with Annie before, and well, she was not always correct about some of the stuff she talked about. She was very fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed having her on the stream too. Anyways, this adept gets here, but 4 kills dead, gets out alive, or not 4 kills dead. Well, I guess that's true, but 4 probes dead. But I did mention Cheeky, and I've highlighted this without speaking about it. Let's speak on it. The Dark Shrine is completing in a few moments. We, of course, have some leapfrogged pylons to get units up here very quickly. And I don't know that Mana's going to deal with this. The Robo Facility... Okay, so here's where this kind of might work out, right? The Robo Facility is building. If he keeps this pylon up and doesn't cancel it, he can hold the top of this until the Observer is out. But the problem is knowing whether Observers would... be first or not, right? Mana might just go for a Warp Prism. He might go for an Immortal. Basically, if he does anything except the Observer, he might just be dead. I mean, the Nexus is going to die slowly. Emphasis on slowly. But here comes the DTs. Okay, he knows what's up. He wants to move to hold position, try and buy some precious time. He's going to lose Stalkers, and I think he's accepted it. But he's currently at the Observer. Can he do this in time? He's already behind. Like, in terms of this game, like, he's got less workers. He's going to lose more here. The Stalkers are dying. I don't know that this is going to work out for poor Mana. We might just have that 3-0. That 6-slick 3-0. The DTs did do a lot of damage. They took some Stalkers out with us, too. 19 workers remain. And even if he counterattacks, the danger is that a DT might sneak by and kill him while he's out of the base. Nike Xavier says, you and Snoot were very entertaining together. Well, thank you. I'm a little sad I didn't get to cast with Snoot more, to be honest. But that one series we did, it was like Seraltasia. I'm really glad I had Snoot as a co-caster for that one. That was really good times. I think what I really enjoy about Snoot is you know, he's not like super hype or anything, but he's very knowledgeable and passionate when he speaks. And that's what I like. Thank you for the 22 months. Welcome back. Yes, we are back from Home Story Cup. We got a lot of planning to do for many different things. And there's a lot of good StarCraft stuff happening regardless of what I stream. For example, I mean, even just later tonight, you've got the Pylon Show. Something I always look forward to every Wednesday. I missed last week's, of course, because Home Story Cup and all that good jazz. I don't even know who the guests were for that one, but yeah, that's probably... probably one of the good things you guys can look forward to later today. I'm just looking at Team Liquid right now, seeing what else is on. I guess there's not really a lot of StarCraft stuff today. There will be more tomorrow. But there's people streaming. I mean, right now, just at a quick look at Team Liquid, you got Beastie Cutie, you got Neuro, you got Nathanius, you got Sort of, who I didn't get to see too much of during Home Story Cup, but I was a little disappointed in his results. Just as a thing. I thought he'd do a lot better than he did. Yeah, a lot of people streaming some StarCraft too, if you guys want some of that action. And of course, I am advertising this because, again, whether this ends here or whether this ends later, I will be doing some non-StarCraft streaming after this. So try to make sure you guys find your way to some good people. The Pikachu mode is amazing. Yeah, you like ASO? I mean, I know I'm not the only streamer to put that up there, but that meme is going strong. This is my favorite Home Story Cup clip. That is not from Home Story Cup. Don't link that. And don't click on it. That thing has so many views, too, from you dummies just abusing it in Twitch chat. Because that's never been linked on Reddit. That's never been put on, like, live stream fails. Those links are just for you idiots who just, like, enjoy watching my torment over and over again. Yeah, placeholder emotes. Feels bad, man. Okay, back in the game. Big attack out of Showtime. I mean, he's up double the army supply. A disruptor from Mana could kill all the stalkers, potentially. Oh, nice pickup on that one immortal. I mean, this disruptor had one shot, one chance to change the game. As it comes off cooldown, maybe it gets another, but even if he kills all the stalkers, he still has to somehow get through the immortal and the Archon, which I don't think he can do. This disruptor shot's looking fantastic. Gets the damage done, but still not good enough. Showtime, looking to just trek on through. And remember, guys, $100 for first place, 50 for second. That's the difference between this game and Showtime locking down $100. GG. GG! Thanks for the practice. Oh, Mana, he's such a good guy. Even when he's losing, he's being good about things. But okay. That is going to wrap up the StarCraft 2 portion of this. I'm going to actually go pretty quickly get this sponsored thing set up, which again, I'm still kind of not used to, guys. This is still all new to me, but again, if you guys enjoyed the show today and you want replays, I will have those sent out later tonight. Normally, I would do them right now, but as I said, I'm going to try and do this sponsored stream with Black Desert Online. So that'll be starting up here in just a sec. But if you did enjoy the show and you want to see more StarCraft 2, I hope you'll consider sticking around, maybe hitting that follow button. If I can get stuff going for tomorrow, ultimately, that would be awesome. That would be the goal. But apparently my password's incorrect. Hello? Just made this account yesterday. There we go. House Quark, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub, my dude. All right, guys, I'm going to run a commercial break while I get things swapped over. Again, if you want to contribute towards us hosting another one of these tournaments, like, seriously, if I can hold 500 viewers-ish over this next hour, I should be able to easily cover hosting another $200 cup. But, T-Bert, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Like I said, I'm going to play some commercials while I get this sorted. It's just updating a patch really quick. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back shortly with some Black Desert Online.